Gentlemen, the Junior Sunbowl is about to get underway. First, get you to bring your hands together for our referee crew for the Junior Sunbowl 2021. And now, the challengers introducing first, the combined amalgamated club of the Sunshine Coast Spartans and the Moreton Bay Raptors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your defending champions, the Gold Coast. As the Gold Coast Stingrays get settled. Ladies and gentlemen, here at East Rugby Union here for Sunbowl 2021, can I please have you remove your hats and be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem. Thanking you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, just had to make sure that some T's were crossed and some I's were dotted here, and we welcome you to the 2021 Junior Sunbowl Championship here, live from East Rugby Union at Norman Park. We've got the defending champions, the Gold Coast Stingrays, defending their title against the amalgamated club of the the Sunshine Coast Spartans and the Moreton Bay Raptors. A coin toss about to happen. Kenny Andres and Chris Bradshaw here, though we might hush up a little bit because we might be trying to pick up the PA here from the coin toss, but I don't believe that is coming through. In any case, I'll talk you through it then. Andrew Stock is our white hat official today. The #1 ranked Gold Coast Stingrays, being classed as the home side, I believe. Therefore, the Raptans getting the coin toss here. I'll bring in my broadcast partner for this Junior Sunbowl, Chris Bradshaw from both Gridiron Queensland and the Logan City Bears.
Afternoon, Kenny. How's it going? Spartans, what we see?
Good news is we've got the rest on PA going, so the Gold Coast elected to defer, and Chris, I'll let you I welcome you back there, both from Gridiron Queensland and Logan City. Bears, welcome to the booth, mate. A junior Sunbowl ahead of us.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's actually going to be a really close game. So it's good to be here. The ground's pretty amazing. It's been a great day so far.
Well, we have not been here since 2008. The last time the Sunbowl was hosted here at East Rugby Union. And in fact, you'd have to look back to 2014 since the last time anyone's announced anyone other than the Gold Coast Stingrays as the junior division or the Colts division champions there. But the good news for those watching and supporting SESMB this afternoon, the last team to do it, the Sunshine Coast Spartans.
They're a strong team. Also, as they showed last week, being the Bears pretty convincingly. But the Stingrays have been doing it for years. It's going to be interesting. That
they have. Back in 2014, not to bring it up there, Stingrays fans, but that was a painful 40-0 drubbing by the then 2014 Sunshine Coast Spartans, many of which of Spartans being represented in this joint team today, including young quarterback, shall I add, Cuba, who will officially, by my count today, be the youngest starting quarterback in junior Sunbowl history, just turning 14 this year.
He's definitely got a command of the offensive ball. He's looked at it week by week from the games I've been on.
Well, unfortunately for me, the one team I haven't been able to view in junior streaming this year is the defending champs, the Gold Coast Stingrays, and it is not hyperbole when I say they are a juggernaut in this division. I probably don't need both hands to count how many losses this program has had over the last 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know for a fact what the last 3 years they haven't lost a game.
So here they go again, and right now offensively they are at the peak of their offense. Many of 3-year starters, a lot of players starting in that junior Sunbowl they won, and by junior I mean the youngest division we had for a period there, including quarterback Taj Borden.
Yeah, and I believe he was due to play a couple of men's games towards the end of the season as well, and yeah, MVP last year.
That he was. Ladies and gentlemen, the ball is on the tee. Here we go. Kickoff now. The Junior Sunbowl has now begun. And this kickoff, probably not what they practiced.
A little bit of laundry early.
A little bit of early laundry indeed.
Interesting to see what they do here. Whether they're going to take the field position or opt for the re-kick.
It is an interesting one for those who might be tuning in for the first time, and I think we're going to get our first penalty call. You get the option of taking the ball where it went out of bounds or taking a re-kick plus 10 yards. So, as I mentioned a couple times throughout the broadcast throughout the few years, those teams with damaging kick returners, they'll often take the re-kick option.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like they've chosen to not take the re-kick and just take the extra 10 yards from the spot of the ball. Be interested to see what the Spartans come out with, the Spartans and the Raptors come out with early. I know
Raptans,
the Raptans.
Call them now while they're together. First down and 10. Here comes Huber. Tom Huber starting this offense. It'll give to last week's playoff MVP, if I dare call him that myself, Newick Matthews. And you can already see how elated the Gold Coast sideline is with that early stop of this incredible young athlete.
Yeah, he had a huge game last weekend. It was, almost single-handedly on his back, took the game away from the Bears.
That he did, and I spoke to Coach Jared both after the game and late last night, talking about it, and he goes, he's not a running back by trade. He's running back right now because Gio Stowers-Olamanani couldn't overcome a shoulder injury that sidelined him for the back end of the season. But he is an athlete, and we don't want to out-coach him of that right now. This is a motion and a handoff here, turning the corner there for the Spartans. That is number 30, Eden Neal.
Has he got enough for the first down? He might be a little bit short.
I think he's going to be
well short. My apologies.
It's right in line with us there. We'll call that a warm-up.
I've got contacts in. Yeah.
He's going to be well short, probably about just under 6 yards by my guesstimation. And he'll be used a lot helping to spell this running game. But yes, Newick Matthews said he didn't want to, Coach Garrett, he said he didn't want to couch the athlete out of him. It's too late to make any significant changes. We just want him to run as comfortably as he feels. Here he goes again with that upright style still. Managed to evade tackles, third down, get some help. He's got the third down. First down, Raptans.
good hard run. It's an interesting upright running style. You know, traditional sort of running back style is get in and get low and drive through. But hey, it seems to be working for him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And for those upright runners, and I spoke about this in the youth showcase earlier this morning. A lot of time, those upright runners never got punished back when the junior division was a 9-a-side. But now when you've got extra people up front and the people are ready to tackle you with those extra 2 defenders, it can be a dangerous game.
Oh, absolutely. I think you can still see quite a few high runners through all divisions.
Pima mode in motion. And will they use him? No, they'll give it. No, it's a running back pass! He's open! Couldn't quite locate the ball. That was a creative half-pack pass with the intended receiver being number 21, who I believe is Toby Joshua. Was worn number 40 for most of this season. And that pass falls to the East Rugby Union turf.
Yeah, bringing out the trick plays early, keeping the Stingrays on their toes, that's for sure.
Well, it's safe to say the Raptans are coming in as underdogs today, and when you are coming in with that title and that feeling, you need to try and find ways to steal momentum early.
Absolutely.
So 2nd down and 10 now. Young Huber in the backfield with Newick Matthews. Spread formation. They want to pass here on 2nd down. Going deep. The ball didn't come out clean, but Peterbone's got him in the red zone. Here on the attack come the Raptans.
That's a huge play early on. That's going to be a massive confidence booster for this offense. You know, getting deep into the Stingrays territory early, it's going to do wonders for them.
How about young Tom Huber? As I said, the youngest starting quarterback, at least in the live stream era, to start a junior Sunbowl, and he delivers that.
Looks comfortable out there, doesn't he?
Some of the best coaching you'll get. John Huber, obviously a wide receiver skill position coach there, and the offensive coordinator of this Raptans team. 1st down and 10. Inside the red zone now. Huber wants Huber mode in motion, crack blocks, get this to Newick Matthews. He doesn't have a whole lot of real estate and will be tackled there by the Gold Coast Stingrays edge defender there. That is Karma.
You can certainly see a lot of that misdirection early on from the Raptans, trying to get the ball moving around and get that defense moving from side to side.
This Gold Coast Stingrays defense, most of the years you've seen the defense for the Gold Coast Juniors team has often been their strength. Not that the offense has been a weakness. Probably this time this year, it's probably a situation where offense might have had to carry defense a time or two.
Yeah, I think so.
Newick Matthews gets cleaned up behind the line of scrimmage. No space awarded to him there. Saxton Matana amongst the 2 defenders that completely sandwiched him behind the line of scrimmage.
The Stingrays defense, red zone defense, certainly stepping up after that big play. But yeah, you're right. The offense kind of has been not carrying them, as you said, but it's not
definitely probably the strength of this program if you were to edge one.
Absolutely.
So a huge loss there puts them in 3rd and long here. Double sticks, about 14 yards needed. Huber has a job under pressure. Spins out of the initial sackers, but can't get away. The pressure gets there, picking up the sack. Kelly for Agese.
Must have been an extra man off the edge there, or a missed block, because he was there as the ball got there just about.
Well, I think it was last year against your Logan City Bears, Coach Connor Brewster, who's now the head coach of this program, he introduced what he called a psycho front, which is a very high pressure front, stepping linebackers into gaps, and it is just built and designed to cause and wreak havoc in the backfield. That was it on display right there. 4th down and forever. 17 yards, the official count. Eden in motion. Will they aim for him? Huber wanted him initially, feels the pressure, gets rid of it. Incomplete, turnover on downs after the big Pierma mode catch. The Gold Coast Stingrays defense holds tight in the red zone and sends their offense on with a level playing field.
Yeah, that was a big 3 set of downs after that big play to knock the Raptans offense back off the field, and now we get to see the Stingrays offense come on and see what they can do. This Raptors defense is a pretty aggressive defense as well. You've seen over the last few weeks as well. So.
There it has been. Now, I spoke to Jared Garrity last week. A lot of the attention was on edge rusher Jonathan Highton. I thought he had a pretty quiet first half against your Bears there.
Yeah, he did.
And he has been the number of attention for a lot of offenses around the league. There he is getting involved in the tackle now. This will be a decent first down game here for Gold Coast to start their day on the ground.
It'll be interesting to see how this Raptans D-line goes against a much bigger Stingrays offensive line.
Coach Garrity, he agreed with my sentiments there about having sort of quiet game. Said he is the very popular term, a confidence player there, and he feels that we probably need to do a better job of getting him involved early in the game, because the more momentum he builds up personally, the better he tends to play, and I feel like that is agreed upon with many offensive coordinators around the league. Second down, 4 yards needed. And pressure here brought by the Raptans. They say we can rush the passer too. Taj Borden, the long-time starter, he's taken down, or at least stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's something happened in the snap there, a bit of a fumble. Not sure, QB will blame center will blame the QB, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it sounds hyperbole. I know you're making a joke there, but really in these big games, it's often the teams that can keep their cool in those situations that prevail. 6 yards, 7 yards, I'll check myself. Needed here now on third down. 4 wide receivers spread evenly. A couple over the middle available to him. Overthrown. I believe the pass was intended there for Braden Field, and one of Taj's favorite targets through season 21.
I think if the Raptors can get 3 and out here, this is going to do wonders for their confidence on defense.
Indeed it is. This is the #1 offense in the league. The Gold Coast Stingrays offense, as I said, can't speak highly enough of Taj Borden. Was the junior Sunbowl MVP in the year that the Stingrays won in the junior division, the then 14-16 division. Now juniors renamed to what used to be the Colts, which used to be the junior division again. Over his head of the punter this goes. He's going to have to do something with it. Can he get out of the end zone? Now can he get a punt to the other end of it? That he does. Nevertheless, the pressure has earned the Raptans absolutely wonderful field position here on their second possession.
That's a great recovery on a bad snap to be able to get back, pick up the ball, beat the pressure and get around and still get a kickoff. Not the best field position, but it's better than being on your own too, that's for sure.
Exactly right. Better yet, better than giving up 2 points or even a touchdown at that point.
Indeed.
So clutch play by the punter there in Braden Field.
So see the Raptors offense come back out here and hoping to put some points on the board this time.
First down inside the 20. They were here just a drive ago. First down. And some more ferocious Gold Coast Stingrays front 4 play that'll knock back the Raptans here on second down.
Yeah, so that defense is playing super aggressive and it's paying off for them at the moment. So that run for a loss is so much more than I actually thought it was. I thought it was a loss of 3. It ends up being a loss of, well, we've got it 14 on the screen. It looks like closer to 15 if you ask me. And it's Huber finding Pima mode in the flat, looking for a bit of a screen, but great job on the outside by the cornerback in Harvey Butler. Great job by the DB out there. Wondering whether one of the O-line was meant to be out there making some blocks as well, or...
And yeah, well, you had one receiver out there. I don't know if it was a bit of a quick screen. Harvey Butler, he's a bit of a mixed DB. Can play on the outside of corner, can play at safety wherever they need him.
Especially at this level, it's such a benefit to be able to play in multiple positions.
So third down and long, almost a carbon copy of where they were a drive ago. Huber, snap over the middle with time. Pima mode, a little too high for him. Falls incomplete, and well, copy and paste from last drive. 4th and forever here after starting in the red zone.
Yeah, couldn't quite drag it in there, just a little bit too high. It would have set him up for maybe a short 4th down, but here we are, as Kenny said, back to 4th and very long.
Neither of these teams, to my knowledge, competent field goal kicking teams, so that's not something you really have to factor in when it comes to field position and downs. 4th and, it says 14, I'll say closer to 15. Nice pocket here for Fuba. Delivers a pass for Pierre Mahmoud. Lost his footing. A good no call there, if you ask me. I think he just got his feet tangled up there with the Gold Coast DB number 32.
A beautiful ball out into the corner though. It would have been interesting if he'd stayed upright, if he could have dragged it in.
So another turnover of downs in the red zone.
It'd be interesting to know this year if there has been a field goal attempted in the juniors division.
I think, especially when you get blowouts and whatnot, you see some teams trying if they're right inside the 5. Yeah. But I would have thought we would have seen a few more because of 11-a-side football. In 9-a-side it can be a lot more difficult, even if you put the extra people. That is literally an extra foot that the edge rushers get.
Doesn't give you a lot of time.
Proven to be competent though, I've seen it before, but very few teams have been a regular field goal kicking team in junior football. Pass completed here for Taj Borden. This is his first completion for the afternoon. A few yards out of bounds.
Good swarm by the Raptans defense. Nice little pass from QB Taj. Good to get a short one in early and get that confidence up.
Yeah, and look, for Taj Borden, he's got a chance to take another step up, as you alluded to a little later in the game. We're so confident in the fact that with all the quarterback issues that the senior team had, was thrown as one of the irons as a potential fix in the senior level. I think Lance Tong and Keeler probably made a good decision there. Thought it wasn't the best situation for him to get his feet wet, held off, and when he does make that jump, if it is to be next year, you never know with kids around that age. Here he goes, showing off his athleticism with his feet and picks up a first down incredibly easily.
That was a great run.
Gets them on the front foot.
That ball was never going anywhere but in his hands and downfield. Great run. Good. A couple of good get in the way blocks by the receivers downfield just to spring them through that few extra yards.
And this offense is running. It is very much the baby of head coach and offense coordinator Connor Brewster. Deep drop with plenty of time. Looks nice out of the hand. Receiver underneath it. Oh, that was Braden Field underneath it there. Had one hand to it. Maybe he should even touch the other.
Yeah.
It falls incomplete there on first down.
He'd be wishing he could have that one back, I'm sure. Probably catches it every night in training, but...
well and truly got past the coverage there of...
a great ball by Taj Borden as well.
And most junior quarterbacks, dare I say, that's those seams right there, that's the meat and potatoes of a lot of the deep throws there. Once you start stretching it outside of the numbers, those throws actually start adding up as far as air yardage. Second down and 10. A run up the middle, and the first flag of the game outside of the kicking game.
You can see the flag.
Taking that carry there. Here's another fun. Getting pins for offense there. Deacon Group, younger brother of Connor Group. And that'll move him back 10 and put him in a bit of a hole here on second down. Now, here's a fun fact. The starting running back for the Gold Coast Stingrays, by my count, and I'll again say it in the live stream era, as far as names given to me, will boast the record for the longest name of a starting player in a Sunbowl. With, if I give him his full name, Ngolka Waremu Davis Angeles.
Hey, I think he takes the record.
Apparently often shortened to NJ, which I will use sparingly, because I'm sure his mother would prefer his full name Ngolka. Being said, second down and long, Borden looking for someone and he's got it! Oh, nice hands on that catch. Good concentration showed there from Ned Connor.
Yeah, that's a great catch. Great catch with a lot of pressure underneath him and getting hit and still holding onto the ball.
Isn't that a classic tight end's catch?
Oh, it totally is. So, meat and potatoes of playing tight end, isn't it?
The way you're getting hit, still looking that ball in. Grabbed his team a first down and pulled him out of a hole. Over the middle, incomplete. Pass intended there on the slant there to Andrew Henderson, the Thunder transfer.
Back on the Taj Borden playing men's, it would have been interesting to see towards the back end of the season, a few rained out games if he had played one of those as well. But as you said, it'd be interesting to see what happens next year there. Well,
I think we saw firsthand when we looked at former junior Sunbowl MVP quarterback there in Noah Hull. He got thrown into the fire, and whilst he stood his ground, definitely had his struggles. it probably gave him a pretty decent idea of what Taj Border might have been up against. Here goes Davis Angeles. Davis Angeles still with a ball in hand. Not necessarily breaking tackles, but just maneuvering out of the way of would-be tacklers.
Just moving those hips left and right. It's a good run.
And that's a strong run there of about 22 yards, gets this ball down to the 12-yard line.
It was a patient run, like just, wasn't moving at speed, but yeah, just moving the hips and getting downfield.
From my understanding, he is a tough son of a gun, Mungolka Davis Angeles. He has been, I think he's been hampered with a rib injury all season long. It's one of those situations, it's really just pain management. And he's just continued on what would have been a strong season for him. Another wonderful catch, marked just short of the goal line. Braden Field this time not making any mistakes.
That's a fantastic catch. Unfortunately, he looks to be down. He did get pretty hard after the hit. So we'll probably see the medics coming out into the field here.
Looks like we'll get an injury timeout here. I might use this opportunity to use the Chris Bradshaw, the league partner for Gridiron Queensland. We were talking about earlier.
Yes, so we've brought on board as of from now into 2021 a new partner for the Sun Devils and Gridiron Queensland. Uniforms and merchandise will be American Sport. Run by Chris Parkhouse. They've been amazing to deal with. We're super excited to have them on board. If you go check out the American Sport website, there's a Gridiron Queensland merch store and a couple of other clubs like the Bears and the Ravens, so you can go essentially order and print and ship all your merch. It's great.
Easy as that. So it looks like Field is going to leave the field. He's getting clapped off now and he's going to get assessed at the medical tent here on the near side sideline. Always all good for the away team, who has to come across.
Yeah. and it's a long walk to the tent.
And what's interesting here, both number one seeds who get the option to choose which sideline they'd like to be on, elected in both Stingray and now Raven fashion, the away sideline.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to know what the reasoning behind that is.
Well, from my inside word, it was a trend started by the Stingrays. They feel it's less of a distraction being on the near sideline. Obviously when you've got your family, your friends, eye shot and ear shot of you, it can be a bit of a distraction.
Oh, that makes sense.
As we come back here on 1st and goal, I thought it might have been a bit of a sneak. They give it to the big man, MJ. Davis Angeles adds the first points of the afternoon. The defending champs take the first advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to stop a big body back like that out so close to the field, so close to the goal line. It's a good solid run. I'll imagine we'll, with our last discussion about field goals, we'll now see the Stingrays come out and go for two.
That they do. I still talk about how the junior, and when I say junior, I meant the 14 to 16 division while it existed. Stingrays, and I'll finish this anecdote after this. Borden over the top, pass tip there, broken up by number 57, Hunter. Hadis 1 denies 2 points to the Stingrays. Score remains 6-0 in favour of Gold Coast. And as this replay plays, a couple of years ago in the junior division, the junior team had so many players. They effectively had two teams in the one team, that head coach Lance Tonga-Kilo actually made a specific 2-point and short yardage offense.
Oh, really?
That had a whole new offensive line, a whole new quarterback, whole new receiver sets. I thought it was a wonderful way to incorporate all the players and give them a role, rather than seeing yourself listed as a third or fourth stringer, seeing them as part of the short yardage unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, that's a very novel way to get kids out on the field and playing football, because, ultimately that's what everybody wants to do.
Exactly right. And that meant you had a team that was focused on the context of short yardage football. I thought it was a wonderful idea. To this day, still makes me smile. And this kick here is kicked off into the hands, ultimately, of Bucky Matthews. Check that. Number 9, my apologies. Jonathan, is that Houghton?
I think that raises a pretty good point. This year with the move back to that juniors, that 14 to 17-year-old age group, is now they're playing 11-a-side football. And, even then that gives the opportunity to kids just to play more football.
First down now out of the Raptans 30. Buick Matthews in the backfield with Huber. Cinnamon is your near side wide receiver closest to the screen. Pin mode inside him. 2 receivers out to the far side in this sort of tight spread formation. 1 safety back here for Gold Coast. The toss out to Newick Matthews. He's met immediately. Bounces out of the tackle. Speed is on display. And that speed will grab him 6 to 7 yards there on first down in a play where he should have been caught behind the line of
I was
scrimmage.
going to say he did amazingly well. Looking at another 3 or 4 yard loss, and he's just made a couple of guys miss and got downfield. And looking at the replay here, he's just a bit of fancy footwork. It's enough for, good 7 yards.
Saxton Montana, I think. If I were to sort of
6 yards.
put my analyze that there, probably going for the big hit, I think, in the backfield. Couldn't wrap up, and Newick Matthews punished him to the tune of 6 yards. 2nd and 4. 2 in the backfield now. Pima mode, one of those. Dump off to Newick Matthews. Once again, a sea of Columbia blue in front of him, and that loss we talked about on first down comes rearing its head here in second.
Yeah, you've got to think when something like that happens that the Stingrays are scheming for that.
Jackson Lloyd. It's like he knew the play before it happened.
Yeah, those 2 outside players were coming down very fast as soon as they saw the running back move out that way. See here, just getting the spot of the ball right, so we'll see a long 3rd down here.
They're going to need 11 here on 3rd down. 3rd down not been kind to him so far this afternoon. 2 turnovers and down right now to the time card of the Raptans here, and it looks like we are going to add a punt to that. And unable to convert there on 3rd down. Brings up 4th and 11 here inside their own territory. And going back to return now for the Stingrays is Jackson Lloyd.
Good inside move there by number 97 from the Rays, Saxton Montana. Faked out, gone in, and just had a clear run at the QBs. So.
Hayden Cinnamon lines up abnormally close than most punters in Gridiron Queensland, but still gets a great punt off. Will go over the head of Lloyd, takes a friendly spot and bounce, but then dribbles well and truly into the end zone here for a touchback, and the Gold Coast Stingrays will set up shot up on their own 20.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen so much of the Raptans special teams, but you think being a defensive line there, you'd think you're a pretty good shot at getting a touch on that ball, right?
Bad news for this offense is coming into the field though. One of their leading receivers, Braden Field, still under the medical team. I'm trying to see what's happening. I think that's his hand on a bit of ice, just from where we're spying from our commentary position. Is it a hand injury? We can't quite make it out from where we are, but he is still getting medical attention.
Yeah, that's no good. Hopefully we see him back in the game.
1st down and 10 now. Gold Coast leading 6-0. Ball on their own 20. Gordon, play action, maybe a bit of an RPO. Aiming downfield there for Andrew Henderson, incomplete.
Felt like there was a bit of everything in that play. There was
flags down, also back at the 20.
Yeah, it felt like there was a bit of everything in that play. It felt like getting close to a sack, almost a handoff, and then a deep ball. So, certainly seems to be a lot of elements of that RPO offense in the Stingrays this year. I think that's been sort of Taj's trademark for the last couple of years. So got a injury update from down at the tent.
Just updating that penalty call in case you couldn't hear it over the speakers there. Neutral zone infraction against the Spartans.
Yeah, so I've just got an injury update from down in the tent, thanks to Kate. Just doing an HIA check, helmet into the ground, which is never a nice feeling. So hopefully we'll see him back out on the field. And at the same time, hope he's all right. I
assumed there that it would be on defense, but it's actually the Rays who moved back there. Neutral zone against the offense that doesn't happen very often. And then Golka, Davis Angeles tries to find a bit of space. The stout Raptan defense there holds them to a minimal gain though. Second down, and now what looks to be about 13.
That's a good run, good, a couple of yards. That's what you want from every play. If you talking, you talk to especially young running backs, it's not about busting for that 60, 70 yard run. It's about getting that consistently, 4 yards every time, because you run a couple of times and it's first down.
Exactly right. So Lance Tonga Kilo. Lance Tonga Kilo, the head coach of the men's Stingrays team. He's actually just been able to be a dad at the moment, sitting in the crowd. Penalty markers down, blowing this play dead.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a stop-start play there. We'll be interested to see what the flag is. It's going to be the offside or the false start.
And for Andrew's sake here, I'll give control to the ground announcement. I'll turn his mic down until he makes an announcement. Looks like this is going to be a false start here on Stingrays.
So for those at home, when the offense gets set, they must be set for at least a second. If they move after the ball, it's a false start penalty.
So, starting to get a little more disciplined now. Both teams, particularly the Stingrays at the moment. 3 wide receivers trips out to the left, but they're going to go to the isolated receiver side, and it's a pass incomplete there, dropped by Andrew Henderson.
Yeah, I had some interesting observations from our juniors coach John Hallaby at the Bears. He said, it very much looked like getting a bit of pressure onto that Stingrays offense. Just made a little bit more stop-start. And that's obviously we didn't get a chance to play the last couple of games, but that was very much the game plan, was just trying to get as much pressure in there and upset them.
Often the first go-to defensive game plan, get pressure. Third down, a long way to go, 18 yards needed here from Gold Coast. Under pressure is Borden, shaking and baking a couple defenders now into the open field. Has he got enough toe to get down? Lose the shoulder! Taj Borden is not a big man, but boy did he just run like one.
Not a big man, but that was a big play.
Wow. How about that? I was almost preparing the mind to describe the ways he might have got lit up on that play, but instead it was the quarterback laying the lumber. How about that?
So it's some shades of a former men's QB, number 6 for the Stingrays.
Yes, indeed. It was a little Malloy-esque, wasn't it? First down and 10. Borden just pulling his team out of a bad situation and then almost giving the ball away. Kai Pierre-Mahmoud, one of the veteran players alongside Jude Scott on this Raptans defense.
We can't exactly say that's why he's DB, because he's also out there playing receiver. So
it's a pretty good one too.
So wonderful to see a hurdle from Taj Borden this afternoon as well, and then you can definitely see some shades of one Damien Malloy.
If you hurdle someone here on this field, the comparisons will almost be inevitable.
It's not a bad person to be compared to.
Yeah, indeed, especially if you choose to wear such a number. And then Goka, Davis Angeles. He gets stopped there and get lower. Grabs a couple of yards on second down and makes this a 3rd and long still, although not in comparison to that last 3rd down conversion they needed to make.
No, not at all. Be interested to see what they come and do here. It's short enough that you probably could think about running the ball, but yeah, it depends how confident you're feeling, I guess.
I think we're just seeing.
I've been, part of a couple of games where it's been 3rd and 20.
And that is the end of one here. 1 quarter gone, and there's Junior Sunbowl and the defending champs, the Gold Coast Stingrays. They lead the Raptans 6 points to 0 here on Sunbowl Saturday, thanks to American Sporting Apparel.
Good old 3rd and 20, and the halfback draw play is called. Yeah, okay, and 30 yards later, it's first down, and
I see here on the Raptans, head coach of the men's side, Vinny Tupy, also helping with water bottle duties
Yeah, it's good to see a few of the other men's players down there helping out as well. It's been really good to see the community that's grown inside the Raptans team and club this year. It's certainly something they've worked hard on this year, is to build that culture within the club.
So third down, we need 8 yards here. And they give it to MJ Davis Angeles, who breaks 2 tackles there, one of which being Highton, one of the better tacklers on this team. Doesn't get enough for the third, but is it enough to make Connor Brewster feel he can convert here on 4th down?
He's such a solid runner and gets low and seems to bump off tackles at will.
So they'll need 5 now. 4th down here. No punting team on the field. It's Borden and his offense. Spread formation. Receivers all going beyond the sticks. Wide open! Go the Stingrays making that catch. Ned Connor, 2 catches on the day for him.
Yeah, something's got to think something's gone wrong with the Raptans coverage there.
They've just attacked the seams there, and I think the Raptans' alley defender just got his eyes caught on the flat defender.
Yeah.
Which is just a lack of awareness there, knowing where the down markers are. And the situation going deep. Touchdown! Stingrays! Underneath that, Ryan Kitchen.
It's a beautiful deep ball. Got a couple of big boys down in the backfield, but it's another great ball by Taj, just airing it out there for the open receiver. As I said, that's outside the seam, so while it's a 30-yard pass, you're adding another 20 to throw to the outside as well. So he's out there showing his arm strength as well. We'll see the 2-point conversion here.
They were denied by, I think it was Johan there on the last 2-point conversion. And they'll look to try to make this a 14-point lead here with a successful one on this play. It's give to Davis Angeles, and he can't back his way to an extra 2 points, so the score remains 12-0. Believe it or not, I think that does a lot for the confidence of the Raptans. Something about just keeping those to unconverted touchdowns just softens the burn a little bit.
Oh, it does, yeah. I mean, you kind of go like, you score a touchdown, you get the 2 points to convert yourself. It's a 4-point game. You feel a lot better about yourself.
And I think there's the fact of just knowing that if you can equal the scores, so and get 2 touchdowns yourself, there's always the chance that you could take it on a 2-point conversion.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Raptans will be very much feeling at this point they need to be the next to score.
So in this situation, and obviously this is a Stingrays team that if you let them get on a run, they only get stronger throughout the game. They've got to probably find a way to get it to pin the note again, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, that seemed to work. Get them one-on-one, and just sort of get them deep. The outside run has been fairly well contained so far. Be interested to see what Coach John Huber brings out next drive.
Kickoff here, and underneath that is Bucky Matthews, and here's another one alongside his older brother Kazoya to be playing in the QPIC Rugby League Carnival, the Queensland Pacific Islander Cultural Carnival, which was a wonderful rugby league carnival there. I believe they both represented their age groups in the Māori team.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was calling a lot of those games.
So many multi-sport athletes.
Indeed, there is. One thing I asked a lot of the head coaches in my interviews with them was like, any key schools, especially with the Gold Coast team. I'm like, how many Keebler Park boys do we have? Palm Beach Currumbin, perhaps? Because obviously there's almost a bit of a high school football, as far as I'm referring to, like American high school football culture happening with the rugby league schools there that are involved with some of these big rugby league powerhouses.
I think the most obscure athlete we've had this season, we had a guy that's been a circus performer for a number of years.
Yeah, even on top of that as well, I think for the Ravens, they've got an amateur wrestler in their ranks. First down and 10. Huber with time, but evades the pocket and throws off his foot. And I've noticed that is a common theme with Huber. Whether there's pressure or not, loves to roll out to the right, and I think that could be possibly a facet of his height. He isn't the tallest quarterback at 14, and he tends to roll out to get his vision there, and will tend to overthrow there. And we've got an injury timeout here,
So I
and
think
it is Huber.
they'll certainly be hoping he's back up off the ground quickly, because he's pretty key to this offense. Either way, if you go down for an injury, you're out for the next play. So we'll be bringing in the next a new QB for a play at least.
Well, that should be Kai Kerr. He played a fair bit of QB as they sort of split reps there, those two quarterbacks there, and now he's turned to more of a package type of quarterback. They have specific types of plays they like to run with Kerr, but he's going to be needed here at least for one play. And I see offensive coordinator John Huber out there calling out some shots.
It's good to see he's back up on his feet and heading towards the sideline.
Well, John Huber now was... thought he was running off into the crowd for a hot second. Nevertheless, second down, and trying to see who's at quarterback. Is that Newick Matthews, who's just going to line up at quarterback? That it is. They'll just move their running back to quarterback and bring in a new running back, fake it to him. It was Heighton, and they'll just let Matthews run with it and grabs a few yards in the process, making it a slightly easier third down.
We'll just put ATH next to his name and...
Possibly. And quite frankly, if you look at his career in a nutshell, that's more or less what it is. He played last year, I believe, for the Raptors at quarterback.
Yeah,
so
he did.
He's not unfamiliar to the position. Wow, that run was actually a little more productive than I could view from my point here in the booth. It picked up enough to get him to 3rd and 3. Huber, he's back in the game after one play. Pass over the middle, too high! Wanted Pierre Mamode, couldn't find a way to sink that ball enough. And Rosman Green almost gifted an intercept, couldn't look it in.
Looking at the QB play this year and the juniors in general, the standards really seem to have, stepped up, and, these nice, pretty looking deep balls being thrown, and just general command of offenses just seems to be really awesome. And multiple kids hopping in and running these offenses.
And cornerback Jackson Lloyd back to field this punt. And this ball will bounce before the 30 and then take a right hand hook, and will be downed by Kai Pierre Mamode of the Raptans at about the 25. So with a 12-point lead now, the Stingrays offense back on the field.
You'd have to wonder how much they thought about going for that short fourth down.
But I thought right now they still believe 12-0 is far from insurmountable. I think if they were to go into the half 12-0 down, they wouldn't be too upset here, depending on how this defense handles this next drive from the Gold Coast Stingrays. Keeping in mind their last two drives, after starting the day with a punt, have gone for touchdowns.
Mainly off the back of the big play, the deep ball.
Borden identifying a matchup he likes. 3 receivers out here to the wide side of the field. Nice drop from Borden over the middle. Got the receiver, that's Kitchen again. He's found plenty of space. Gets inside one more defender eventually before being taken down. Solid tackle made there from Stuart Eller. Ryan Kitchen, the touchdown scorer from 2 drives ago, picks up another catch in the day.
Nice little spin move to brush off one defender, follows his blocks. One would start to look at maybe a block in the back there, but...
First down and 10 following the Kitchen catch. Miscommunication there. Borden thought he was going to have a running back to at least fake to, but now he just takes off by himself and grabs the first down via a 14-yard dash.
So I'm not having seen too many of the Stingrays games this year. Taj Borden's got some wheels.
He does, and I think it was Andrew Stock, the gentleman who's white-hatting today's junior Sunbowl. He said that Taj Borden sort of reminds him of a young, as said, Damien Malloy, and I questioned him. I mean, I remember seeing Damien Malloy in juniors, and he was an athlete. Let's give him that. Not like Taj Borden is, but I still consider Taj Borden a passing quarterback who can run a little.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's his passing ability that impresses me more is what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
As they give now a new running back in the backfield. A fumble on the play, but scooped up by one of the linemen. One hand or one bounce, all good up in here for Gold Coast.
Highlight of the year for number 58, getting his hands on the ball, getting a few yards.
That is Lachlan Johnston saving the day here. One of the vocal presence of this Stingrays offense.
Yeah, still a little bit of a loose carry there. We'll see the timeout happen here.
Keanu Bannon was taking that last carry, and he's sort of the lightning to Davis Angeli's thunder of this running attack, but still a fair bit of rugby league in his background there, and I think we might have saw it on that last carry.
Yeah, the old loaf of bread sticking out either side, but
yeah, I think his coach Connor Brewster last night said he's a prototypical sort of outside centre edge play rugby league, the way he runs over his lines and the way he skips and whatnot, and you can see it translate there on that particular run, and I think if they just tighten up that carry, you've got probably a heck of a ball player.
I think every coach on the sideline, when they see the ball hanging out there like that, just sort of, close their eyes and sometimes just hope it's going to stay there.
There's Jared Garrett, you can see, as well as offensive coordinator Huber. John Huber having a chat to his team. Going back to the whole loaf of bread carry, obviously it's almost a cliche in our sport. You see it, you expect a fumble. But going from 9 to 11 aside again, and I'll always harp on those differences, it's even more dangerous because in fact you've got two more players on the field that can recover the football.
And it's amazing how much that those two extra players reduce the space on field. Like, you looked at a lot of the 9-a-side football, in both the juniors and the women's, there's a lot of space on the outside in that 9-man football, and that's predominantly where the game plans sort of roll into, is getting people into space on the outside.
Second down, and they've got about 4 yards ahead of them. Still off the field is Braden Field. I wonder what that means for his afternoon. Slant flat concept, and a strong catch again, stopped just a couple yards short of the goal line.
Great catch, but equally great tackle. Getting low, bringing him down just before the goal line.
Noah Langley in on the play there, and he's been one of the third-year players, and it's weird not to see him start considering how many games I've seen him play. Been hampered by injury most of the season, so really operates as the fifth wide receiver in this offense. NJ Davis Angeles finds a gaping hole, and 6 points on the other end of it. 3 straight touchdowns here for Gold Coast.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Raptans to take, I'm sure. They really wanted to be heading into the half at most down 12 points. When obviously they're going to get the ball back now, but hopefully we see their offense fire and put some points on the board going into the half.
Davis Angeles has been denied the last 2 2-point conversions, and that trend continues. The score going up in 6s right now, not 8s, 18-0. A lead really starting to build here for the defending champs.
The Raptans did well there. It looked like he was going to sort of just canter through and managed to squeeze him and drag him back.
So a bit of work here as this hole just gets another touchdown deeper here for the SCSMB Raptans here at East Rugby Union, home of Sunbowl 37. Here at Norman Park in the inner eastern suburbs of Brisbane.
This is the shortest trip I've had to make this season. It's about 11 minutes from home, so...
Actually, I'm quite the same, so I'm not complaining either. And Bucky Matthews can't quite feel this, but he's touched it, so he needs to get out of the end zone, and he does so, but only to the tune of about 1.5 yards. The day just gets tougher here for the SCSMB Raptans.
I think you'll see that affectionately named Psycho package come out here from Stingrays defense.
Why not?
Yep.
But if you're the Raptans, you might want to think ahead there, see if there's a slant or some sort of quick passing play that can take advantage of that.
I think there is certainly some space underneath in that raised defense, and getting it to someone like Kai Pemba mode and just letting him make some moves, and hopefully breaking a big play out.
Well, we've seen him try to do both ways and succeed in at least one of those ways so far, and getting him ball deep or getting him early and letting him use his run after the catch ability. But I've only seen about 2 of those attempts, and the other 3 have fallen incomplete. Handoff now to Newick Matthews. Kazoya Newick Matthews now in a rocking ball with this Gold Coast Stingrays defense, and dare I say he wins that battle.
Definitely, yeah. A couple of the O-line pushing the back, get him rolling again. It was a great run.
One of the best.
Gets him out of pressure.
One of the best rule changes or interpretation changes I've seen in the last 10 years of American football is definitely the aiding the runner rule, which
absolutely.
Once upon a time, by the letter of the law, would have been penalised that last run. But now it's more of a pulling motion you can't do. You can get behind your running back and push all you like, and I'm all for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, even speaking from my game play this year, it just makes a massive difference, that extra yard or 2 with a shove in the back.
First down and 10. So they've gotten out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Slightly high snap, handled by Huber, but he throws it in the air, but almost caught by the former 40, now 21, Josh Toby.
There's a great block in the backfield picked up by Kazoya Matthews on the Stingrays defender coming through that allowed to get the pass off. Wasn't a great pass, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, one thing that Coach Brewster said he wanted to try to achieve out of this, he has a lot of respect for young Huber there, and he goes, but we want to take advantage of the things that are just obvious. And, we think that if we can get into his passing lanes, not necessarily sack him or even hit him, but if we can just disrupt his passing lanes, that'll go a long way to winning this game this afternoon. A pass here over the top, and that would have been a wonderful contortionist of a catch there by Eden Neal if he could have brought it in. But right now, he is down and disappointed.
You can see it's a nice looking ball. Just, you've got to think if he'd got it both hands onto it, that would have been inside and called a fair catch.
You only need 1 foot in bounds here under IFAF ruling.
I was actually surprised I didn't know that up until the beginning of the season, as bad as that is.
It's pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But Eden Neal right now getting the attention of the SES MB sideline staff, both coaches out there as well as the medical staff to suss on him. He did fall awkwardly on his shoulder. He's currently reaching for his back there. It could have been one of those situations he might have landed awkwardly on the liver.
The liver? Sorry?
Kidney.
No, kidney, yeah.
Be very awkward if he landed on his liver.
Yeah, he hands immediately went to the back as soon as he hit the ground. So
Could also just be winded, which is the other possible good news.
Oh, he's up and moving, that's the main thing. And not heading towards the medic tent, so he seems to be okay.
Yeah,
just sore.
Take a bit of water, get his breath back, and back on the field, I'm surely. Sooner rather than later, I'm sure. 3rd down and 10. Need him. Hubert to step up a little here. His team needs a big play. He takes it with the receivers going downfield. He's got 2 open. Pemba mode with a juggle and a catch. Pemba mode in open space. It's a foot race to the end zone. Has he got it off toe? Rosman Green takes him down, but not before he gets over 40 yards on that last explosive play.
That's a massive play. I think everybody on the sideline was willing him on.
I thought for a second he might have clicked into a 6th gear if he had it, but Green enough there to take him down inside the red zone. But the good news is, we said they're going to need to find a way to get it deep to Pemba mode. Bad news is, they're in the situation they have been yet to overcome, and that's a red zone trip.
Yeah. Well, they're closer than they were before, so let's see how they go.
Huber now, 2 receivers out near side. A very wide receiver out to the open side, but it is a Newick Matthews tackle, or carry I should say. A tackle made there, I think Bolton, the 2020 Sunbowl MVP, played that at defensive end, now an off-the-ball linebacker.
Makes the move back. I think, traditionally the move, everyone starts to safety and moves forward to linebacker into D-line. So, but I think from a Raptans point of view, having Huber at 14, having command of this offense holds them well for the next 3 years.
I was actually speaking to Coach Rhino's head coach Sam Harkness last night, who spoke very highly of Huber. We took a bit of a detour on his matchup, and said he remembered Huber from, and we'll get to this anecdote in a second. Huber over the middle. Huber looking for his favourite target in Pierre Mahmoud. Coverage there from the Gold Coast #1 cornerback there, and Jackson Lloyd. They're passing complete. Third down here inside the red zone. Sam Harkness had nothing but wonderful things to say about Tom Huber, because obviously John Huber was one of the coaching staff of the Sun Devils unit that came down. So Tom was floating around constantly, and yeah, Sam said he always saw him throwing the football and getting involved in as much football action as possible. So he's got a lot of admirers, this young Tom Huber. Third down and 10, can convert here and try to earn themselves another 4 cracks. Huber looking for the end zone though for Pierre Mahmoud in double coverage. Pierre Mahmoud demonstrating for a flag. A flag does come out though, but what for?
It's interesting. You're kind of in two minds here when you're at that 10 yard. Do you try and throw under and just make 6 or 7 yards to then make the fourth down a lot shorter, or do you go for it all? Wait to see what the flag is here.
I think he's just checking off with all of his stuff. Waiting for an initial announcement here from Andrew Stock.
The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
So Jackson Lloyd, after making a great play in coverage, ends up giving up a first down here and puts him right on the doorstep for the Raptans to add their first points of the day.
Yeah, one's got to think this is a huge moment in the game, just in the context of the score and where we are in relation to the halftime.
Well, it was one of those situations, 2-man catch situations, where you've got 2 men on the one receiver. You kind of want one of them to be aggressive because you have an opportunity for an intercept, but sometimes that does backfire. Huber looking for 6. No one in the end zone. They roll out to the right. Pierre Mahmoud's got the ball, but was he in bounds? He was not. And I'm disappointed we don't have cameras on the far sideline, because that would have been a sight to see. We will see this from the rear sideline though.
We'll see what we can see here.
I'll tell you what, I reckon that's closer than most people thought.
Yeah.
I think if Pierre Mahmoud was just a couple inches taller, I think that right foot possibly could have stayed in bounds.
Yeah. Almost got the toe drag in, might have done it as well.
Well, I think the unfortunate, but I think his foot was on the Stingrays defender, which carried him out of bounds there. Once upon a time in the NFL, that would have been a force-out catch and would have been a touchdown. Second down and goal. Will they just let Newick Matthews try to punch it in here? Trailing by 18. They want the slant at the back of the end zone to Pierre Mahmoud. It is more than obvious who is the favourite target in today's offense.
Just slightly there. It was there for him, just a little bit too high.
Well, let's see if possibly here on third down they try to use Pierre Mahmoud as a distraction. Get some maybe a slant flat concept, have him as the out guy and try to drag some of those defenders away from 2 other guys and free up an easy catch for someone like Cinnamon perhaps.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Get someone coming across the middle.
Well, you have got Cinnamon has gone well outside the numbers here, and you've got Pierre Mahmoud inside the hashes. There's a lot of space between them here. They're going to hand the ball to Newick Matthews. Newick Matthews not having a super day, albeit a few flash plays thrown between. And a flag thrown here on the near sideline with number 30 here from the Raptans in Eden Neal celebrating.
Yeah, he's clearly excited about something. Yeah, you've got to look at from out of that formation, running Pierre Mahmoud on sort of a T-bone out would sure to see him just about walk over the line.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 37. Ball will be placed at the 2.5, automatic, first down.
Well, first the pass interference, and now a USC here late in the down count. So they've got third down at the moment. This should be, and I think they're going to change the down marker now. Getting pinged for unsportsmanlike conduct there was Alex Podvarak. And attitude has been a little bit of an issue, I believe, with him, and he's still sort of working on his discipline as the years go on. In any case, a rollout here and a jump pass on the other end of it. Hayden Cinnamon gets the Raptans on the board. 18-6.
Yeah, I think it's a great example of him using, you talking about before, him rolling out just to see who is there over the middle. You can see him roll out and then throw back across his body, which isn't an easy throw.
Lo and behold, did you see using Pierre Mimode as a bit of a horizontal stretch there to free up Cinnamon, and it works here for the underdogs today. And touchdown Raptans. A chance to really dig into this lead here with a successful conversion. Hand off to Newick Matthews, Kazoya Newick Matthews. Much like NJ, Davis Angeles can't cross the line here on a 2-point conversion run attempt. The score remains 18-6. Ultimately, not a whole lot of damage done for either team, with neither team converting right now.
Yeah, it's not a 2-point score. Not a 2-point conversion was had today.
And it's one of those situations that even if they get it, really doesn't make too much of a difference. It's they're still chasing 2 scores, and with neither teams kicking field goals, you know.
Yeah, and you got to think it's got to do some wonders for that Raptors offense, just to get some points on the board and probably settle in now and try and do that again.
But we'll call a spade there. Wonderful execution eventually by the Raptors, but buoyed by some ill discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the Gold Coast Stingrays.
I think Coach Connor Brewster will be, certainly speaking about that at halftime, about being disciplined. So, as you can see, it quickly turns games.
One thing I love about calling it the Sunbowl, an accurate clock that I don't have to be checking someone on the sideline for. 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining.
I'm not sending you messages on the sideline.
So finally, the Raptors turn the tide here offensively, starting off with 2 turnovers and downs, and then back-to-back punts. They had a touchdown on the board.
It's, this next 5 minutes and a half is going to be pretty interesting, especially in the context of this game. If the Raptors can keep the Rays out on this drive, I think they'll be happy. The Stingrays would obviously like to get another one on the board before halftime.
We'll see the Rays 4-minute drill and seeing how they go with scoring whilst taking as much time off the clock as possible. Bringing this ball back. There was Andrew Henderson, and late flags coming in from Andrew Stock.
Look here at the replay. It's good solid contact, but
it must be something to do with blocking there. Nothing seemed to be an issue with the tackle there. Down to the call here with Andrew Stock. I'll relay the call for everyone watching at home.
Personal foul. Unnecessary use of hands to the head. Offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So, illegal use of hands to the head by the return team. So in other words, a blocker has more or less clubbed someone in the head here. I don't know if we can spot it. And no number was given on the penalty. See, if anything, I thought maybe it might have been on the Spartans on that last one. Unless they're calling it on the tackler.
Surely.
But that's I don't know. But it is what it is. The penalty has been called.
Yep.
And the Gold Coast Stingrays now operating from the 40 to start this drive. 3 straight touchdowns, looking to make it 4. Ngoka Davis Angeles still charging his way forward and making sure this Gold Coast offense rarely has to start behind the 8 ball on second down.
Yeah, I mean, even look at that run there. He's been hit in the backfield, but he's still been good for 2 or 3 yards, just fighting through that tackle and into the and falling forward and running into his own player at the same time.
There it is, second down, and so closer to 7. 3 receivers going downfield. Kitchen wanted catch number 3 and would have had plenty of real estate to operate afterwards.
Yeah, it's a huge, especially looking at this angle from where we're sitting. There was a nice little seam for him to run down pretty much all the way, you'd imagine.
So incomplete pass, and now they'll have a third down conversion attempt ahead of them here. Taj Borden, pretty decent on third down this afternoon. Let's see if that continues. Coach Connor Bruce has only had to make the one fourth down decision so far. Rolling out now under pressure, keeps balance, gets rid of the ball, and can't complete there to Ned Connor. Would have been a wonderful catch, had two defenders in the vicinity, but wonderful pressure there. I think that might have been the kid they call Soup. So Lupe Fafetti, no, it was Jonathan Hyton. And geez, how about the balance?
Yeah, that did amazingly well to keep up there. It would have been very easy to go over in the pile.
I will say 9 times out of 10, any other quarterback, including Taj Borden, probably falls to the ground there. A wonderful play by the young quarterback.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that feeling of just one of your ankles moving from underneath it.
So, fourth down, go for it, is the call here from head coach and play caller Connor Brewster. 3 receivers out to the left. Kitchen, the most interior of that, they go to the ISO receiver back here on the right. Andrew Henderson can't bring it in. Dare I say it, for a kid who's had a wonderful season and has been a wonderful addition after transferring over from the now defunct Thunder program. He's probably had a disappointing start there with a few of these balls.
Yeah, just coming off the hands, it's not ideal. One of those things, kind of football, just might be in his own head a little, in his own head a little bit, or hopefully we see pull in a couple and run some down.
So that is the first turnover by this Gold Coast Stingrays offense so far. They started the day with a punt, went 3 straight, and now here late in the second quarter, their first turnover, albeit a turnover on downs, not a giveaway. Huber wants to go long. Plenty of Columbia Blue defenders. Maybe took a bit of a zealous chance there. Yeah. Lucky not to be punished.
It's a lot of hands going down there on Pimmer mode at the same time, though. So, yeah, that very much, I think, was a pre-planned play. Let's get it deep and see what happens. Jim will be back to the resume programming of the offense now.
Let's see how much that involves Newick Matthews, or whether they can work. Cinnamon's got one of the biggest frames in this junior division. I'd love to see how they can work him inside or get him on some crossing routes and possibly try to free up PMMO, because the reality is PMMO is going to be a busy man all day.
He is. Yeah, get him on the drag or the slant coming in.
Cinnamon now moved in field a little bit. Possibly, yes, an illegal motion, I suspected.
Yeah.
They're going to be disappointed if this eventuates into a big play.
I just don't think he quite got set after coming across and moving forward. So,
So initially, Cinnamon motioned in, and then they sent Neil in on motion as well, but not soon enough. They needed to wait the aforementioned 1 second before they reshifted. So, as we suspected, this going against the Spartans. Okay, so we'll have an opportunity now to break a little bit of news ahead of the senior Sunbowl. We had 2 big injury clouds coming into the senior Sunbowl, one of them being wide receiver Calder Shanks.
Oh, really?
Who apparently had an HIA to be cleared, has come away clear. Calder Shanks will be playing in the 2021 Men's Sunbowl.
I think that's huge news for the Rhinos, because he's such a key part of their offense.
Well, so much so, and we still don't know for certain which quarterback is going to be coming out. I've been told Bradford's out, but I've been told that before.
yeah. There's always the games that go on this week, isn't there?
Indeed it is. Third down, still at the original line of scrimmage following that run. 10 yards to go here to keep this drive ticking along here as we tick well under 4 minutes here in the second quarter of play of the 2021 Junior Sunbowl. Cuba, 4 wide receivers, spread formation, flags down before the throw's made, caught by PMMO, but something tells me we've got a little bit of holding cooking.
That's what I'm thinking as well. So what's the other bit of injury news you got going on?
Well, I just saw Jack Capewell on the field. Let's wait for this call here from Andrew Stott.
10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
There it is, holding on the Spartans, takes away that PMMO deep ball. Jack Capewell was another question mark for the Bayside Ravens, whether it started defensive end. I just saw him walking in with kit, so at the very least he will try warm-ups and see how he goes. He'll test that ankle out.
I think, you know, from a spectator's point of view, having nothing in the match, you want to see the strongest squads out there you can.
Exactly right. 3rd down now, more than 20 yards to go. 20 and change. Big play needed here, although they could just get some yardage here and then work on the 4th down conversion. Pressure sent! Pressure doesn't quite get home yet! Ultimately, the job is done though. Huber has to scramble, picks up a couple of yards, but in the grand scheme of it, call that job done from the Gold Coast Stingrays defense.
Absolutely, did well to you know, reduce the damage, so it wasn't, you know, 4th and forever and trying to kick, you know, can still kick relatively deep into the Stingrays half. You'd expect to see the Rays maybe come out in that 2-minute offense.
Yes, indeed. Hayden Cinnamon, I'm just double checking, is back deep to punt. Only having 4 at the line of scrimmage here on this punt unit. I won't be surprised in the second half if they bring some sort of punt block pressure. Almost getting home there on just a 4-man rush. And that pressure is enough to make this a minimum punt, maybe a gain of less than 10.
A bit of a loopy snap there. Is just didn't have enough time to get the ball away. I guess that's the danger of standing so close to the line, is that if something's slightly wrong, you know, you're in trouble.
And not that it'll play a factor, especially considering some of the games we've had, bringing back 2 weeks to the week 9 games we had over at Deception Bay, where the breeze was quite the force. But there is a light breeze picking up here left to right on your screen. So right now at the backs of the Gold Coast Stingrays. And they'll also be enjoying that, assuming the breeze stays the same for the 3rd quarter. Moving in motion now, Noah Langley. A run here to the 2nd running back of this Stingrays rushing attack in Keanu Bannon.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen the Rays under centre today as well, just about.
Yeah, be close to it. I think there's a couple of the 2-point conversions perhaps went under centre. Enough for a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. And I'm assuming we are going to get to the 2-minute warning here. Let's see if the Gold Coast Stingrays get a playoff here before the official stoppage.
It does not look like it.
We'll see how quickly they can get this snap off. 7 seconds to go. Not sure if Borden is aware of that because he puts a player in motion. I think our screen clock might be a little bit early then. A fake, going downfield, 1-on-1, pass too long. Intended there for Andrew Henderson. A few too many Weet-Bix behind that throw.
Sure, the wide receiver coach and maybe the QBs out there, the wide receivers, don't stop running.
And just there it is, 2-minute warning. And I think they're going to allow both teams to take a bit of a water break. Although not nearly as hot as it was 2 games ago.
No, it was boiling this morning.
Yes, there was. There was plenty of sun. We've actually moved to a bit of an overcast afternoon here for this junior Sunbowl. Plenty of cloud coverage about. Still plenty of blue sky, and most importantly, no worries of rain, thunder, or lightning on the horizon.
It's been a year for that, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just? If you could just stay away just for one more day, we'd all be happy.
Absolutely. The field looks great. You know, the tiny line markers guy, Dano, out here for a number of hours getting the Sunbowl riding in Gridiron Queensland on the field. I think it looks great.
You can see him in the huddle there, Connor Brewster, the head coach and play caller. And along with his DC and Craig Lee Baker, I believe, who played in the Ghost game this morning, got himself an interception and earning the praise of a lot of his players that were cheering along as he got the pick. Also copping a lot of abuse from his own players as well.
I think that sort of comes with the Ghost games, praise and abuse.
Didn't Justin Fernley cop it today?
I didn't see too much of the game. I was out doing a bit of social media for the GQ page.
A lot of the what do you call it? A lot of the old Brisbane Bulldogs reunion team was here giving him some. So obviously that old Union Warriors Centurions rivalry.
To be fair, it is justified.
And I think he asked for it. A pass here, complete, juggled, give him a cat and a chainsaw, but they won't give him a first down.
Right?
So
Then the Raptors might be claiming they came down with it.
stop that. No way. Let's take a look at that. We've got it on
They're not
replay.
getting.
Has there been a strip here? Ball's come out.
Yeah.
And it has been recovered by our best guesstimation by the Raptans.
That's huge.
First down, a Raptans. And most importantly, that just takes away the option for the Gold Coast Stingrays to go for it on fourth down.
Well, there is some laundry out on the field as well. But with the offense coming off and the Rays defense coming on, might be inconsequential.
Andrew Stocks about to fill this in. Do it again from the wide angle.
The running on the field is covered by offense. The try is under review.
I don't know if Andrew Stock got a little confused there and saw the Raptans offense on and recovered by the Raptans. There we go.
That clears it up.
Mistakes are allowed provided you fix them. So yes, right now, as it stands, the ruling is the Raptans have recovered this ball and it looks pretty clear to us.
Yeah.
It's inside the 2 minutes, so this review has come from our officials here in the replay. And
I mean, it's probably a good call to make from the officials. You know, looks fairly clear cut that the Raptors have pulled that back, but
just getting up the.
We'll have to wait and see. We're lucky with the Sunbowl. We've got a big team of officials.
Recovered by
looking to my left.
Recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 70, Stingrays. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
After the review, not only do the Raptans get the ball, they've found an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's 2 now for the Gold Coast here today. So that is just tacked on an extra 15 yards.
Deacon Greer.
So, first down and 10, now inside Gold Coast Stingrays territory. Cuba going for it, picked off! Intercepted here from the Gold Coast Stingrays, and in their eyes, that is justice done. That is Harvey Butler, the experienced Harvey Butler, stealing that ball back for the defending champs.
Unfortunately, looks like he's down injured after the play.
Well, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but can I possibly suggest they might have been going to the well one too many times?
Yep, I'd say so.
But I understand the logic. You have a quick turn, you have a change of possession. The logic in the modern day football especially is attack. Once you've got that change of possession.
And given how much time's on the clock, you definitely want to get into that, you know, that red zone or close to get a few shots into the end zone. But you've got to start wondering, if there's with the double and triple coverage out onto PMMO, that there's some other guys that are free out there.
Well, the good news is I don't believe they've used 2 of their timeouts. The Raptans, I thought they might have had all 3 left, and they said ultimately they've still got a chance to try and get the ball back.
Yeah. Be interesting here to see the approaches from both teams. You can see
Harvey Butler making his way to the sideline now. They've already lost one player. I'm still yet to see Fields come back onto the field.
No, I haven't seen him
On the
either.
pun, so they're down one of their experienced centers and now possibly down one of their experienced defensive backs.
It's good. It seems to be he's up and walking off. I'd imagine they're probably going to do the HIA check and.
So, on the field, back on the field comes 2019 Junior MVP, Sunbowl MVP, Taj Book. NJ, Leremu, Davis Angeles, and a nice tackle there by Highton.
Be interested to hear if the Raptans start calling a couple of timeouts to back themselves, try and get this ball back from that Stingrays offense to take another couple of shots. Or both teams are going to be happy to roll into the second half and see what happens.
And it looks like both teams might be willing. I think the Stingrays might take a couple shots here and see where the clock's at. Will they go short? No, over the middle there goes. This is another potential turnover. No! Well handled there. Strong hands by Andrew Henderson, and some late contact there that's definitely going to trigger a few emotions.
Few emotions, but surprisingly no laundry.
I think ultimately
No?
it might have been okay. Staying down in the field though is Henderson, so...
It was a good catch, and it looked like it was going to be pulled out as a turnover as well, and he's managed to pull it out and make a few extra yards.
Second, I thought it was going to be a miraculous intercept. Then I thought it was going to be stripped away from him, and then amongst all that, young Henderson's managed to show off his strength and hold on to it.
So I see Coach Connor Brewster down there talking to the officials with the cravat on today.
Came in with a full light blue suit.
Obviously the cravat decided to stay.
Clearly. I think they're conducting an on-field assessment here. No doctor, but that does look a bit like a bit of an HIA.
I would imagine so. I think he did hit the ground. He got that little bit of a whiplash type hit. So
the good news is he's walking back to his own sideline. I think if it was problematic, they would have taken him to the injury tent. So good news on the Gold Coast front, and certainly the Henderson front there for those watching at home. First down and 10 now, Gold Coast.
I'd expect we'll see another shot from the Stingrays here, or maybe they'll get the clock running and then look to have another couple of shots.
And the clock starts once again, under a minute. Remaining in half number one. And Golka, Davis Angeles with his second biggest run of this Sunbowl, enough to pick up a first down and then some.
And it's a good pickup there, but I think, you look at him, he's been running strong all day. As you alluded to before, he's just putting the Stingrays on the front foot every time.
And it is first down and 10 now, this drive being kept alive. Spread formation, and Golka, Davies Angeles, attracting a lot of Moreton Bay Sunshine Coast attention, penalty marker down in the area of holding.
The running back stops. Oh, the ref, sorry.
Hey. Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
On the money. Holding here against Gold Coast.
It's almost like you've done this before.
Once or twice.
It's interesting looking at the running backs for the Stingrays across both teams. Very strong running backs with Menz and Salvo, and
it has been, yeah, and it'll be interesting if he gets added to that. That'll be just a really strong inside running game, and actually might save Gab Salvo a little bit if he chooses to stick around in the Gold Coast Stingrays team there. He can probably become a bit more of the outside back guy, and maybe someone like Davis Angeles with his bigger frame can handle some of the inside work. Sort of the way that James Taylor did a long time for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Here after that holding call, first and 20. Kitchen wanted another big reception. Incomplete though.
I don't think anybody was a big fan of tackling James Taylor when he got up to speed.
And that's the thing about James Taylor. You probably, if you were to go back and look at his highlights, timeout being taken here by Gold Coast. And the clock was already stopped because of the incompletion. But obviously wanting a bit of time to talk about it here with 17 seconds remaining in the half. But yeah, James Taylor, for those who might have seen before, a bigger back. Played in that zone system, particularly that inside zone system for the Gold Coast Stingrays for almost a decade. didn't kill you with big runs, just killed you with a collection of like 4.5, 5 yard, just physical runs inside.
Over and over and over again. That comes back to those 4 or 5 yard runs every play just beat a defense up, and they,
Well, that is the mantra of the zone system. It isn't really designed for big yards. They don't care about averages. They care about median runs. They want every run to be getting that 4.5, 4 yard marker. Inside 10 seconds, very well could be the last play of half number 1. Connor in motion. Now moves to the right side, will protect. Gets the ball out quickly, does Borden, but maybe a little too quickly. Not nearly enough time there for Noah Langley to get underneath it. Yes. 1 second remaining according to our clock, and it looks like that is the case here from Whiteout official Andrew Stock.
Looks like the Raptans DBs just caught him up enough to stop him getting up under that ball.
And those timeouts don't come with you, so Connor Brewster will take the second of his 3 allotted first half timeouts to try and dial up something special here. Let's make our predictions now. I've got money on hook and ladder.
Oh, I would have said the hook and ladder as well.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You've put me on the spot now.
All the other options, they haven't whipped out a screen here, and I know that's certainly within the realms of possibility with this offense.
Wonder what 22's arms like, and maybe see a flea flicker like we have in the Raptans in the first half.
I'm going to put it out there. If you find, if you get beaten by a running back pass on a last play of the game here with this much space, you probably deserve to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Third down, a relevant distance. The important number is 52 yards needed here to add points here before the half. We might make that a few more.
Comes flag. You imagine this is going to be a false start on the offense.
That should be the case here. Turn your microphone on, Andrew Stock.
Right, first snap. False start. Number 94. Offense. Correction, 95. 5 yard penalty. Replay.
Give it to Andrew Stock. He's correcting every single mistake he makes today.
Now we'll look at that 57 yards.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, something I haven't covered here. 90-yard fields for the most part of Gridiron Queensland, unless, of course, you are playing in Logan City.
Indeed. Well, the Raptors are talking about moving the field to 120, so or the full field.
Play action. Don't think anyone bid on it. 1-on-1 here on the outside. 11 on 11. Incomplete pass, and that should send us to the intermission. And no ball in hand, but Andrew Stock sends us to the break here. A bit of a stall in offenses as we went to the dying minutes of the first half. Your halftime score here, the Gold Coast Stingrays leading the Raptans 18 points to 6. Kenny Andres, Chris Bradshaw going to take a break. Be back here with the second half of the 2021 Junior Sunbowl action in just a few. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 24 game time minutes away from deciding our 2021 Junior Sunbowl champions for another 12 months. Will it again, for the 7th time since 2014 by my count, be the Gold Coast Stingrays, or is there a spoiler in the making here with the amalgamated club of the Moreton Bay Raptors and the Sunshine Coast Spartans here? Can they write a bit of history into the history books by completely being the David to the Goliath that is the Gold Coast Stingrays? Here to help me find out if that will be the case, Chris Bradshaw entering the second half in just moments. Quick thoughts.
I think you've still got to back the Stingrays as the favourites here, being 12 points up. But I didn't have a chance to catch up with Coach Jared Garrity.
And second half action about to be back underway. Kai Piermamode kicking down to his opposite, number 11 here. Second half, Junior Sunbowl now underway. Awkward kickoff being fielded there by Henderson. Henderson now circling back the way it originally came. Dead legs his way past the 30 before the rest of the stop troops come in and wrestle him down to the ground here at the 32-yard line. Penalty markers down.
Yeah,
Coach Jared Garrity.
I had a quick chat. I didn't have a chance to get over to talk to Coach Brewster, but he's actually pretty happy with how the half went. A little bit disappointed. He had a couple of red zone opportunities that they couldn't convert, but ultimately they think they're in a pretty good place. They've got their plan set for the second half. So.
During return, block in the back, at the 22, return team.
Yard penalty for the spot of foul, first down.
Starting running back and special teamer Ngolka Remu Davis Angeles pinned for a block in the back on that last play, and now he will have to contribute in making up those yardage now as Gold Coast, who deferred the coin toss, will start with the ball here for the first possession of the third quarter.
I'm sure he'll be looking to get their hands on the ball early. I'm sure Coach Brewster will be looking to do the same, but make a mistake, you want that ball in your hand to make up for it.
Well, he has really been the story of this offense right now. Obviously there's been some big plays made by quarterback and the receivers there in Taj Borden and his deep run of receivers, but the constant run has been NJ Davis Angeles, who here again is putting them on the front foot here on first down.
It just makes such a massive difference in offense when you can run the ball effectively, and when you've got a talented back like that.
And it's just a short gain there, but the thing about NJ Davis Angeles is that he is not falling backwards. He is not getting stopped behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think this Gold Coast Stingrays, outside of penalties, has had to start with longer than a second and 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes down to a well-driven line as well.
And this is a keeper here. Borden shakes a few defenders, circles back, still in bounds, now goes to the middle of the field. Taj Borden gets this out past his own 30, first down, and we've got a Raptan down all the way at the 19. Penalty markers as well.
That was a great run there by QB Taj Borden, and one of the few QBs decides to step back in and run it some more. Then we see a great open field tackle come out. Did enough to hang on. And we've got a Raptors player down here in number 59.
Not now. It could be Zion Pasea. It was one of the players not updated on our team list there. We double check that. But we do have a Raptan down, now an injury timeout.
Message down to the lady on sideline and we'll find out.
Gotta love having some sideline ninjas. Might let it. Andrew stop.
We do have a flag waiting for us as well.
I think Andrew Stock made that announcement there, and we didn't quite quick enough on the PA dials there. He might have announced it without us getting it out to the public, but it is being marched back. It's against the Gold Coast Stingrays.
It's a big turnaround from a big close to a first down. If not a first down, to being well back inside your 10. I think the Raptans here would be looking to put the pressure on them.
So we had another penalty against the Gold Coast Stingrays here. The little discipline is stretched out here to the third quarter. This now going out to Keanu Bannon. Trying to find some space to the outside. Is that another penalty marker?
I think
yes, it is.
Get a flag for a face mask here. Just the got beaten on the outside. The late hand come out late. So
Might be a decent angle for it here. Bannon trying to cut it back inside, and we might have a case of targeting. I'm not saying it is. I'm certainly not a zebra.
No.
But I'm just putting it in the realms of possible calls.
I wouldn't mind saying that again, but...
See if we can get a look at that again and see if our folks in the booth can run it back for us. And here we go again, thanks to Samantha in the booth. Well, based on if our suspicions for attacking the head in the first half stays consistent,
you've got to imagine that's going to be a flag as well.
I think that call will be made as well, but let's see what they come to. We're going to call it both ways here, one would think. And I think we might be on the money here.
Personal foul.
Defense, number 55. Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Hamilton there.
A different flag this time.
I think possibly they might have pinged the wrong number. Troy Hamilton's completely confused there. Well, this one, yes, this wasn't for illegal hands to the head. This was unnecessary roughness.
But in the one would think he's just in the motion trying to make a tackle, reaching back. I mean, it didn't look great, but...
Yeah, well, we could be completely wrong here. It could have been something off the ball. We were kind of speculating on what we saw. Nevertheless, it's almost offsetting penalties here. The way that Gold Coast gave up a penalty, and in some ways it kind of hurts more when defense gives it up because you lose the down. Offense, you have a chance to make that back. Now we have a challenge flag coming here from the Spartan Raptors sideline.
It'd be interesting to see what other footage there is, because
Jared Garrity throwing his first flag, I believe. Obviously in sometimes playoff, but Sunbowl situations where we have enough cameras.
It's being challenged by the defense.
So Jared Garrity is going to take his chances and try to gamble a timeout here for a chance to correct that penalty, should it prove to be in his favor. Let's take a look at it again. Well, they said 55. Whether that's the case, well, 55 is on the line there, so we're not going to get it from that angle.
no.
Is it on 98 actually, or is it possibly on the late tackler there? Unfortunately, we didn't get any numbers to these calls, or at least not ones we believe was accurate. Because there's 55 goes out of frame just then. Shot happens.
It could be the late shot coming in.
To be fair, I've seen a lot less, a lot more let go, I should say, but I've also seen a lot less penalised.
Like you look at the shots of the face mask. It didn't look like there's a lot in it.
Jared Garrity doesn't believe it. This is a penalty, hence the challenge.
You see, he comes through, gets a high arm, and you wonder if it's head as he's going down the late hit into the ground. Well, not the late hit, but the hit going into the ground.
As said, in my opinion, it's not malicious. The player's still live at that point. It's not like a situation where the quarterback's sliding or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was probably an unrecoverable position that he was in, but it's still, if he managed to pop himself back up and keep going, he's missed a tackle.
Video judge today, I believe is that Timmy Redshaw? No, it looks like Jason Gambiers. And also Ryan Balsamo are our two in the video booth at the moment.
Look deep in discussion right there.
Making this call here to Andrew Stock, who's receiving their comms as we speak. And looks like Andrew Stock is almost ready to relay the call to us now. Of course, as I said, in situations like the Sunbowl where we have multiple camera angles, coaches do get the option to challenge. And take advantage of our video replay capabilities.
And it's a big opportunity.
After review, the final game is overturned.
We are just getting the markers now.
All right, so it's a 1-for-1 on challenges. Jared Garrity
Yeah.
earned that penalty back here. So the Stingrays will move back post-call.
Be interested to see what the You'd be interested to see what the talk is on the Stingrays sideline after that. But the decision's been made, and we'll look now to see that the Stingrays are now back just inside their own 20, third down.
Gabriel Lemon, your wallet has been found on the field. Please report to the commentary booth to pick
So
up.
looking at a long
Lemon.
third down here. All right, I'm just waiting for the chains to reset.
Just had to take a short reprieve from my commentary duties to announce a lost ball.
Just sorting out the chains here at the moment. As you can see on the side. So we're looking at about a 3rd and 5 here at the moment. Yeah, the Raptans will be looking for a big play here.
And the sun comes out here at East Rugby Union. Ball in the air. Ned Connor has been a highlight reel today.
Playing pitch and catch. It's a great catch. Did well to hold on to it falling down.
So, big plays have not been out of shortage here between
No.
both teams in this 21 Junior Sunbowl.
Certainly been the story so far.
And it's an awkward handoff, but Ngolka Muremu Davis Angeles holds on to it, and we've got action going all the way down to the Raptors, Spartan Raptors 35 here. It's unflagged, but that's something that could really develop as the game goes on. We've got an injury timeout now as a Raptans down. It is key linebacker Jude Scott.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a bit of angst going on out there in the last few minutes, especially in the second half. I think both coaches will be out there just to telling the players to cool their heads and play smart football. So you don't want to be giving up those 15-yard penalties.
Thank you.
Still looks like we might have a cramp down here.
That's the important part. We said it's gotten a little overcast. The sun has come back out here in Norman Park. But those who do not hydrate correctly, you will be found out here, especially in a Sunbowl where you end up putting the extra 2, 5, 10% in. Your body will tell you if you're running on empty.
Especially some of us older guys running around out there, but you can see quite a few cramps in the juniors comps of kids sort of not taking the hydration as seriously sometimes.
It is, and of course hydration. By hydration, we really mean water.
Absolutely.
Not soft drinks,
No.
not juice.
Nope.
Not even milk. So there's
High quality H2O.
There's long-time Sunny Coast defender Jude Scott. Garners a lot of respect around the league. Connor Brewster in the playoff match when he was on commentary had nothing but good things to say about Jude Scott. Clearly has a lot of support here.
Yeah.
And second down, 7 yards. Ngolka Davis Angeles adds on another few yards to his day.
It's definitely the louder section of the crowd. We're very much in a Stingray, the Stingray Bay in the commentary box.
Okay. Well, Jude Scott came off and there was a Raptan cheer, so I think
There's
it's
a
actually
few
a pretty mixed crowd. And it's really starting to fill up here now as we move to the competitive Sunbowls today, halfway through one of them now. Ngolka Muremu Davis Angeles picks up more than enough for the first down. In fact, it's probably a full 10, 11, maybe a 12-yard run. Penalty markers down, though, at the Raptans 36.
We've got a Stingray as player down. Looks like with maybe a knee injury.
Trying to make out exactly who that is.
can't quite read the numbers.
Possibly 62. It is. Oh, that is Tony Dalmave Ramirez. Currently still down, also getting stretched out. Another cramp on the field here.
Keeping the medics busy in the early parts of the second half.
The medics are going to have cramp at this rate. But it's always interesting after you see a game significantly.
Holding, number 62, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay.
Talk about insult to injury there. He's on the field getting stretched out and massaged out now, and then he was told he was holding.
Wonder if he was trying to sell it.
Yeah, possibly. If I wasn't cramping up, I wouldn't have held that. In any case, now he has to deal with the defense walking over him.
I was just trying to keep myself up, sir.
And a showing of good sportsmanship there. Newick Matthews and company are going to carry him off to the sideline.
That's good to see. There's definitely the cramps setting in around the place. There's a couple of Raptans down the sideline being stretched out, and certainly reminds me of the Queensland summers of old in the last few weeks. The humidity and that oppressive heat.
Maybe I'm speaking from quarter privilege here because I've been fortunate to be in the shade, but whilst it's been hot, the humidity doesn't feel as much of an issue today.
Yeah, maybe you could be right. Like, being out there in the sun, doing a bit of the social media and stuff has been pretty horrific. So I'm glad I'm not playing in the heat of the day.
Yeah, it certainly felt hot, but as far as sticky, I feel like we've had some November Sunbowls produce some harsher sticky heat in the past. Pass here with an open man, so open he couldn't hit him. Getting close to that was Andrew Henderson, and his unlucky day continues.
Yeah, he hasn't had much luck at all.
And that would have been what I call a luck turner.
Absolutely.
That's a type of pitch and catch that would really sort of, if you're a confidence player, turn your day around.
Absolutely. I think the Raptors safety there eyes would have lit up if he had brought that ball in.
Bit of a hitch seam concept out to the right there. You saw the outside receiver, I believe, run that hitch, and they just managed to have the safety plant their feet in the corner and really create a bit of a conflict downfield. That's how Henderson got so wide open.
Yeah. I think having 11-man football has really enhanced the creativity inside this juniors division as well.
Fourth down now. That was a third down pass, and now we might have a delay of game. That we do. Took too long.
Offense.
5-yard penalty, replay. Fourth down.
So, will they consider sending the punt unit out now?
What would you do here, Kenny?
Punt it away with a 2-score lead. Your defense is playing pretty decently, and this is a big 10 yards to get. That being said, they've been loving Taj Borden. I know how much faith Connor Brewster has, not only in Taj Borden, but this receiving pool. Trips out to the open side of the field.
Are we going to see Taj keep it here and scuttle down the sideline?
Possibly. Noah Langley, your near side wide receiver. And whether it was by design, Borden has to run. Gets out of one sack attempt. Another. Can't get rid of 3 and 4 though. Hamilton trying to get the ball away from him there. You can't fault him for that. He was waiting for the whistle. Fourth down conversion failure here for Gold Coast. The score remains 18-6 here, and the Raptans have the ball inside Gold Coast territory.
Once again, number 5 from the Stingrays proving hard to put down. You know, not the biggest guy in stature, but just continues to stay upright.
And the correction there, it was in fact Orlando Leatuau on the final sack attempt there on Borden. Injury timeout here to one of the Raptans on the play. It might actually be that man, Orlando Leatuau.
It looks that way. It's a big crowd of people out there, so hopefully he's okay. Oh, he's up. So
it's not Leatuau. I just saw him on screen. Trying to make out it might be one of the single digits. It's Declan Garrity. He's been one of the longest serving players on this team, obviously playing in the Raptors team since the youth days.
Yeah, just one of the youth.
6'3" in the youth division somehow.
Yeah. Not a small human. He never has been.
Declan Gary, if I'm not mistaken, Jason's young lad.
Yep, he is indeed. Coming off holding a shoulder, that doesn't look terribly positive, but let's hope we see him back out there shortly.
And there's his father, and the GQ president, walking off with him there, and his uncle is his head coach.
Dad Jason doesn't look too worried at the moment, so...
To be fair, it takes a lot to worry Jason.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Garrity. I think the arm would have to be falling off to really bother. First down and 10. Huber, ridding himself of the crack block, was one of the Gold Coast defenders, and Cinnamon comes up with the reception behind all of that. Penalty mark is down here on the Gold Coast 40.
I wonder if that's considering the play wasn't called dead, it's maybe an offside by the Stingrays defense. I think he'd take the free 5 yards and repeat the down.
You nailed it from what it looks like. Stockton just having a chat with both coaches, making sure their decision to accept or reject is on point.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
Smart call.
An easy 5 yards then, not a hard decision. First down and 5. 18-6 the score is now. A few minutes deep into the third quarter.
No change in the score since half time. It's been a bit of backwards and forwards in the middle of the field. Quite a few injury timeouts.
The Gold Coast Stingrays, for those tuning in, first drive of the second half went a turnover on downs, couldn't convert on fourth down. Here is the Raptans still on their first drive here of the second half. Newick and Matthews was held in check for the most part of half number 1. Starts half number 2 with a very strong run on first down.
It's only a big run. That'll do his confidence the world of good coming into the second half. Now we have another injury timeout here.
This time it's one of the DBs. It's number 13, Jackson Lloyd, and he'll be a huge loss. We're still trying to check if Harvey Butler has made it back onto the field, as well as Fields, the wide receiver for Gold Coast, and I don't think that has been the case.
Can't say you can see over there in anyone with the pads off, but also can't see pick their numbers out amongst the sidelines. So
right now, making his way to the field is Jackson Lloyd.
the referee's calling the water and the coaches out, so we'll get back underway again.
And this is the impressive thing about Gold Coast's depth. You have a player missing, you don't really see any dips of production when starters go out. First down and 10. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. Neal in motion. They'll look his direction, now go deep. Underneath it, Cinnamon fighting for the ball, had his hands on it first. Couldn't quite reshape his hands into a position able to catch the football. Penalty mark is down at the point of the catch, or would-be catch.
Good work by the Huber there to get that ball off. There was a lot of pressure coming.
You just saw the hit he took after that, all clean. But a potential pass interference now at the spot of the incompletion.
We'll chat about it. You're looking at another 15-yard penalty that puts them firmly into the Stingrays' end zone. So,
after their last trip, have they managed to fix their red zone blues?
Pass interference. Defense. Number 25. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Maybe Maybe I'm just not as forgiving as a lot of referees nowadays. I was fine for the no call on that.
Yeah.
And I think we might be seeing, oh no, I thought for a second we might be seeing the challenge flag come out from Connor Brewster. But it's just the Stingrays sideline getting very, very loud and animated. And they are, however, coming for a respot of the ball here. Wrong blade of glass.
It's a very condensed Stingrays defense. Everybody's up on the line. I think the house is going to be coming here.
Well, they're showing blitz. Let's see if they stick with it. Yes, they would have. And this play is whistled dead.
Yeah. O-line might have got a bit jumpy there.
The play is currently under review.
So I was right.
Timeout.
The question is, I think it's a challenge flag, so this has come down from the booth, from my understanding.
Oh, interesting.
So the booth is going to check that last penalty call to see if it in fact was pass interference.
So we've got predictions for the men's Sunbowl after this?
Look, I think I would be denying some honest truths there if I didn't say the Ravens had every right to be coming here as favourites. Strong favourites at that. You know, if you look at the scoreline, and we'll cover this in the men's pre-show, but they outscored the Rhinos in their two matchups today, I think about 92 to 39. So I think there's every right for a David versus Goliath narrative to be painted over the men's Sunbowl.
It kind of feels like the 2018 Thunder Rhinos Sunbowl. You know, we came into it, and you know, I think the Rhinos were most unbackable favourites.
And I will say, that was the last time, and probably the only time in the last decade, we can say we saw an upset result in the men's Sunbowl.
Absolutely.
But that being said, a lot of things have not gone right for this Brisbane Rhinos offense.
That is indeed
Multiple
true.
quarterbacks having to be used. Have had a few upgrades here and there, particularly on the offensive line. But we will cover that more as we get closer to the men's Sunbowl there. As of right now, still a title on the line here between the SCS MB Raptans and the Gold Coast Stingrays.
So interesting position to take a knee in.
We've got almost all players taking a knee here, and I'll be honest, it's beyond me as to why. I've not been filled in on any particular situation as why both teams would do this.
And be moving back to their own huddles, having a chat with their coaches, and
be honest, I'm at a loss here. Usually I have some sort of heads up or inkling as to what's happening. Checking if there's any injuries we haven't noticed. No ambulances.
there's no one down. The referees are still clearly having their conference in the middle of the field.
Oh, just maybe by all means, you could just be everyone taking a breather, but
Yeah,
just a bit weird for it to be so uniform.
I know, right? O-line, D-line having a chat like usual, no doubt.
Of course.
Just trying to see if I can spy down the tent. Connor Garrity's condition, he's got the pads off, so I'm guessing that looks like he probably won't be back on the field today.
I think that is a safe assumption here.
Trying to just looking here into the referee's box, they're concerned faces and talking about things. Yeah, down East Rugby Union Club today. Massive thank you for hosting us for the Sunbowl this year. It was a last minute decision, but it's a great field, and like especially from this position out here, looking at a very pretty suburban ground. And I'm told when the Rugby Union Club are playing, there's 3,000 to 4,000 people down here, and it goes off. So
I was just got some information there. There's nothing, no movement going on the field or anything. Just a bit of mimicked sportsmanship there from the two competing teams. We're just having some technical issues with the footage regarding the play in review. So it means this play might not be reviewable, and now they're just figuring out whether the ball needs to be properly placed at the 10 or the 12.
First down.
So the play will stand. It'll be first down and goal. Spartan Raptors. A chance here for the trailing visitors, if you will. The lower seeded Raptans here to try and dig into this lead and make it a one-score game. Kazuya Newick Matthews into traffic, he heads into a standstill, he stops. And we will have second and goal here. Nice first play, dare I say, won by the Gold Coast Stingrays.
See, coming back onto the field, Kai Pimmer mode.
Also back on the field there, Jackson Lloyd, who had to go off for a brief period, sustaining injury. He looks back and healthy.
Imagine here would be looking at Huber looking to his favourite target in Pimmer mode.
Or alternatively, they do the same route where they try to stretch the field with Pima mode and find a soft spot for Cinnamon.
I think Cinnamon's off the field with his helmet off at the moment, so he's just been subbed out.
Okay, so here's the target Pima mode. Eden Neal's come in motion. He's in the flat. Out leveraged the defender, came back for it. Can he get over the line? What a desperate tackle there from Jackson Lloyd. Would have backed in for all money to have the momentum to break the plane. A beautiful tackle there from the number one corner here from the Gold Coast.
So a good catch by number 30, also out there, Eden Neal. I think it's his first catch today. Just that yard short.
First catch, but he's covered a lot of yardage, being their main motion move receiver. Third down and goal.
You think you'd imagine you can see Newick Matthews up the middle here, but
Newick Matthews is lined up in the backfield, Pima mode. Closest to you in your screen, now in motion. And they'll give to Newick Matthews, stretching out, touchdown, Spartan Raptors. The lead has been cut down to 6. A chance to make that 4.
There's a flag. Oh no, I was getting mistaken by someone's yellow boots out there. My apologies.
It happens.
The Raptans supporters down to our left getting vocal after that touchdown. Newick Matthews, speaking about his upright running style, did well there to duck under the tackle and fall over the line.
There it is, Kazuya Newick Matthews, the standout a week ago in the playoffs against Logan City. 2-point conversion here, just to make that gap just a little bit shorter. Pass intercepted. It's been captured here. Bring that back. Karma. Kotsurias could bring it back for 2 points. One more defender to beat. Block is in front. Getting me chased down from Huber. One more block from Roseman Green. And instead of 2 points to the trailing Raptans, it's 2 points with no penalty markers down. Added to the lead here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. 20 points to 12. It's been a while since I've seen that.
That's a long way to run for 2 points.
Isn't it just? But that being said, if you cover that much ground, you certainly want to make it pay.
I'm impressed that QB Huber attempted to make a tackle down here, and he's still at the 20 down here trying to make another tackle. That's a great run back, looking for his blockers, being patient. And that will see the Stingrays go up to 18, the Raptors 12. So one score in it.
We'll see the Stingrays go up to 20, in fact.
Oh, they will do indeed, sorry.
So there it is. Still haven't seen a conversion successful today. Who would have put money on the defense converting a 2-point conversion before the O?
Technically it was a successful conversion, just the other way.
Not wrong. And how about that? Karma. Kotsurias pulling off the rare feat of a defensive 2-point conversion.
It could actually be a big play in the context of the game, given that they put some by 8.
It does. That is a huge play, and I'm not going to be surprised if that 2-point ends up being the ultimate difference between these two teams, if the way the game's trending continues to go that way.
You've got to think the Raptans here have got a bit of spring in their step, scoring the last 2 touchdowns.
But you got to wonder, what does that do for your confidence? It really sort of simmers the high that you were just on after scoring a touchdown here in the second half. When that happens to you, in the way it happens, a full 90-yard return.
Yeah, that is also very true. Might just give that Stingray side a little bit of a G up to...
I was about to say, if there's any team probably getting a G up, it might be the Stingrays. That it almost eliminates the...
T attempt. As the Stingrays are running for the touchdown, we have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Raptors. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. 2-point stand.
Well, I said no penalty markers, and I was wrong apparently, but certainly no penalty markers that would affect the result of that 2-point conversion, the defensive 2-point conversion. So it was an unnecessary hit by the Raptans, which moves the kickoff back all the way to the 15 now. Points to 12. PMO mode and a really good return opportunity here now. Here for Andrew Henderson. Looking to turn his fortune around. Spin move, runs into his own defender and is taken down. An open field tackle by Solidify Fafita.
That's a great tackle on a pretty agile bloke.
Right. And that being said, that's one of the better open field tacklers in this junior division.
Number 11 out there isn't having much luck even on the kickoff, so bouncing off the hands there too.
Well, the good news for him, he's not made any negative plays today.
Indeed.
Just unfortunately missed a few opportunities that have been presented to him in the passing game. So following the penalty being enforced prior to the kick, that kick return sets them up on their own 40. Gold Coast leading 20 points to 12. Now in possession and moving the ball here on first down, and ladies and gentlemen, still half a yard. I thought for a second maybe they stopped Ngolka. Waremu Davis Angeli is on first down for the first time. They have, however, managed to keep it to a 1-yard gain.
The Raptors seem to have done, the Raptans seem to have done a pretty good job early in this second half of limiting them to that half a yard, 1 yard, just closing down quickly on them. And swarming to the ball, because that seems to be making a difference.
Davis Angeles now trying to make up for his first down, breaks the tackle and was free of defenders for a good 5 yards. Beats the line to gain and converts here for the Gold Coast Stingrays.
Sorry to the Raptors fans out there for putting the bogey on them.
Quite frankly, I think that was happening no matter what we said with the way this kid's running. One possession game. Stingrays trying to extend that now inside Raptan territory. Solidify Fafita blitzes there and gets him down at a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, it's good rush off the edge and managed to just get in the backfield and hold him up for everybody else to swarm to him. Yeah, I think we'll look to the Stingrays will probably look to keep it on the ground here and try and punch it in. Control the game as much as they possibly can.
Looks like John Hollywood Rowe has entered the building here ahead of the men's Sunbowl. Call that with me. Taj Borden with a design QB keeper. Finds a fair chunk of space there. Picks up 5, maybe even 6 yards by the end of that run here. Makes this a much more manageable third down.
Sort of third and short. You've got either option here. We're going to can throw the ball up, or they can just keep it on the ground and see if they're going to roll in. Maybe even with a short fourth down, they'd probably look to go for it anyway, given the proximity on the field.
Well, yeah, you can either go 2 ways. You can try to run Ngolka twice and convert there, or you can take a shot here and trust Ngolka to find that 4 yards they need here on fourth down. Third down, though, as for now. They'll go over the middle, pass caught on the slant, Noah Langley. So, all that maths now moot. Conversion on second down. or shall I say third down converted there, and now moving the Gold Coast into the Spartan Raptor red zone.
And the Raptans here.
3 receivers out to the left. No, check that. 2 and a tight end. Ned Connor stays in to block. A handoff here. No, it was a Borden keeper, my apologies. Picks up 5 yards here. Chuck 10 yards, maybe even 11 yards here for Borden on this drive.
Yeah, you've got to think here for the Raptans. It's pretty key for stopping them here. The Stingrays going in here would probably go a long way for them to winning the game, I think.
It'd be huge, almost necessary here. They'll really need some Huber magic if they are chasing 2 scores again here in the final couple of minutes of the third quarter. Langley here is a receiver on the isolated side. They've thrown to that receiver a lot. They're going to tell Ngolko to block that side now. Opens up to the trip side. Stick concept. Wanted Ned Connor, and on a rare occurrence, Ned Connor couldn't bring the ball in. It's only his first drop in about 5 targets all day.
Yeah, so we'll ring up a 3rd and 5 here. So kind of back to that situation. Do you run the ball? Do you pass the ball here?
So let's see how they choose to play this. Kitchen now scored a touchdown in the first quarter. He's lined up at the right slot. Langley here to the left. Ned Connor in a tight end, but the give is a keeper to Taj Borden. The wheels are turning, and he gets carried over the sideline, but not before getting inside the 5-yard line and converting here. 1st and goal, Gold Coast.
Yeah, going to call me a liar now, but I was literally about to say there's a good chance there's going to be a QB keeper here, but now it's kind of moot because...
There's a lot of things I would have, could have, should have said, mate. You have your opportunity, you got to take them.
Yeah, I know, right? Didn't take it.
1st down and goal. Go on, what's your prediction?
Reckon maybe they'll go again.
Chris Bradshaw calling a double dip here. Taj Borden, 3 carries on this drive and has picked up about 16 yards in the process. And a timeout used here by SESMB, and I think they already lost one. Well, I've got 2 timeouts on their screen here. I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, no, because that was a successful challenge. They didn't lose a timeout there.
Well, if it's a successful one, they shouldn't lose that timeout.
Yeah, that's what I said. They shouldn't have.
So they should be at 3 by my count. So that drops them down to 2 timeouts by our official count, which could be huge here when we're talking about a 1-possession game, maybe a 2-possession game heading into the 4th quarter. But nevertheless, Coach Jared Garrity, who does call this defense, using this timeout to hopefully generate a stop here in the red zone.
They'll be dialing up something special, I'm sure. Reach to the back of the defensive playbook.
Any exotic blitzes you have, any changes of personnel, any ways to disguise what you're trying to do. It needs to come to the forefront right now. I would hazard a guess, with the way that this Stingrays team is a front-running team, you would almost need to keep this as a 1-possession game.
I think the Stingrays feel it's going to be pretty tough to come back from. I mean, football's a funny game, but...
3 receivers and a tight end. Ned Connor lined up on the line to the left. Give it to the old reliable Ngolka Uremu. Davis Angeles adds his 3rd touchdown for this 2021 Sunbowl.
Yep, good run. Bring the extra guy in onto the line and just get the big boys up to front to push, and he runs it in over the line. We'll see them come out for 2 points here.
I don't know how I'm going to react if somehow the Raptans find a way to equal the 2-point conversion attempt defensively, but ahead them last drive. Instead, they'll keep it safe here to Ngolka Uremu. Davis Angeles finally getting a successful 2-point conversion on the offensive side of the ball.
So we're looking at 30-12 here, so that's 80 points. It's a 3-score game.
So we're more or less back to where we were in the 3rd quarter. Sorry, 2nd quarter, my apologies. So it's always interesting reading the body language of the team that just surrendered a touchdown here. In this case, SCS MB here, and I've got to say, whilst it isn't despondent, it almost has an image of being shell-shocked right now.
Yeah.
I think they realise that was a huge touchdown in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of the defining moments of the game. And yeah, I think, you know, losing a couple of key leaders, especially in Connor, Doherty, yeah, he's sort of the heart and soul of the defense as well. This is from a leadership point of view.
Absolutely, a huge presence up
When
front.
I say Connor, that's Jason's daughter. I mean, definitely.
Don't worry, I called Jason Jared's dad last night on the interview. Sorry, Jason. And this kicked off.
Nice at hand.
Connor, fielded there by Eden Neal, who's found a slice of heaven. Look at him split the D, and not before Ned Connor grabs him down. A potential horse collar, though, is the would be my suspicion at the back end of that run.
I definitely think it's looking at the horse collar. That was a beautiful run back though.
Finds a seam here.
Just put the pedal down.
Yeah, it's a tough one there because the action is supposed to be grabbing anywhere in the nameplate, pulling directly down. I would have to say, yeah, but by the letter of the law, I can understand if that penalty stands.
I mean, you know, quick score here might make the world of difference for the Raptans.
See how this penalty is to be assessed. And it looks like it will be a horse collar penalty, but the announcement to come from Andrew Stock.
Personal foul. Horse collar to tackle. On the kicking team, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
You can't really complain it, you know, it kind of letter of all the stuff, and it's never a good feeling getting horse collar.
I think it's one of those situations, though, if you're Connor Brewster, you are certainly not cussing out Ned Connor after that play.
No.
It was a tackle that he had made. There was nothing malicious about it. He went and unfortunately grabbed a fair bit of nameplate and dragged him down by it. First down and 10, handoff to Kazoya Newick Matthews. And he tries to jump cut his way forward, and he does so to earn himself about a yard and change.
And that's only been the distinct difference between last week and this week is the Raptors' ability to run the ball. They just haven't made the yards that they did last week, and that opened up their offense a lot more.
And at risk of upsetting a Loganite here, I got to say they've really done a better job at tackling Newick Matthews. Those runs to the outside where he was ripping off 10, 15, 20-yard gains, just not been available to him. They've done a wonderful job setting the edge and tackling. Second down and 10 here. Huber with the sun now almost angled in his face, wants one-on-one. It comes up Gold Coast. Getting under there for the pick.
Yeah, if
Jackson Lloyd. Penalty mark is down, but I don't think that'll change the turnover here. The ball underthrown and completely advantageously intercepted by Jackson Lloyd.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that from another angle. Kind of wonder how much hands were at play on the turn on that. Could be a late flag for it.
Ask and you shall receive. Here we are on replay. Let's watch the top of this route. This very well could come back. I'm going to say they're both fighting for possession there. And the penalty markers are down. I would argue, if anything, I would say it was offensive PI.
Yeah, you could be right there.
To which is an easy decline, but hang on, Hubert's still in the huddle.
Pass interference. Offense, number 11. That penalty is declined. First down.
I love when Andrew Stock's inflections is surprised the fact that the Gold Coast would decline a chance to take the football.
Oh, there you go, called it. Offensive pass interference.
There it is. Both players have a right to the football, and in that case, it was in fact Jackson Lloyd who was denied a fair opportunity at it and made the interception in any way and earned his team possession.
Look to see what happens here. Great to get the turnover, but never fun to be right back inside your own 5. They did well getting out of it last time, so.
First down and 10. Just seeing a former Sunshine Coast Spartan in Bradley Ebden across the commentary booth as we see a run here from that Borden. I don't know if he was trying to pass that or just trying to stretch the ball out for another yard or so.
Solid catch
downfield
by Coach Brewster.
He was well and truly past the line of scrimmage if he was intending to pass there, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. No, I think the ball just came out there, so if we were keeping stats, I would call that a forced fumble. And I think we have a player down here. We have the medic staff running over to the far sideline. I can't see exactly which player is down. It is a Gold Coast. No, it's a Raptan.
We put Coach Brewster down for one reception for about 4 yards.
Sure, why not? 57 is the call I am getting, and that is Hunter Harris 1, the rookie linebacker. We'll call him Jude Scott's apprentice, really, with the way the coaches have talked about his ability to be a sort of a duck to water to the linebacking position and taking as much advice as he can alongside linebacking partner Jude Scott, and has made a fair few plays of his own as well. This would be a huge hurdle in the way of the Raptans if he is unavailable for the rest of this game, with them now chasing such a sizable margin.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I've liked about the juniors this year, and it's across all our teams, the Bears, the Raptans, the Stingrays and the Rhinos, is these, multi-year, 3-4 year players in teaching the rookies about how to play the position and stuff like that. It's really great to see the kids passing on the knowledge that they've earned as well.
I'll be honest, it's almost a necessity right now, and if I were to speak candidly, there is a bit of a coaching shortage in the league. Once upon a time, you'd have, all the coaches available and multiple coaches available for almost every team.
Yeah.
Now we have a situation where you have a head coach, and then ideally you have some veterans acting as quasi-coaches, quasi-positional coaches for you. That's just the reality of the economy of coaches here in Gridiron Queensland.
Absolutely. It's the same struggle each year is bringing in those coaches and developing the coaches from the players, certainly the men's players that retire.
Well, for a long time for the Bayside Ravens, it's been coached by committee. You've had a figurehead, or definitely the culture leader or the vocal head, and for a long time it's been Darius Holiday-Miller. Now moves to Jason Leon, but I think anyone's lying if they don't believe that was a core sort of leadership role run between a lot of the leaders for the Bayside Ravens. And right now for the Rhinos, you got Sam Harkness at the top, but you got people like Cheyenne James effectively coaching the DBs.
Yeah, it's a very much a player-led kind of, especially at the men's level team. Yeah,
you look at the Stingrays as well. Back when you had Damo running double duties, Damien Malloy, but then you had Frankie running the defense along with people like I was about to call him Chris Clark, but name's escaping me right now. But his safety partner as well, and then you had Adam Bolton running the offensive line.
Yeah,
it's a necessity really to be an elite team to have key teaching players in as many positional groups as you can.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, like even the reformed Bears in 2019, you had Carlos Williams, coaching the offense and at QB, and you had Coach Shane Prosser running the defense as well as playing linebacker, and then moving to QB later in the season. So sometimes it's a necessity.
Exactly right. It very much is. It's gone. And I certainly hope this changes. I don't say this and accepting this as the standard right now, but I still think about some of those Stingrays teams, Ravens teams, Rhinos teams that had a head coach, 2 offensive coordinators, and even some positional coaches underneath that. It's a situation where this sport can burn you out a little bit because we are a minority sport, so we ask our volunteers to do a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes that leads to higher turnover than we like. And not in malicious ways, just this sport can really take time out of your week, and I think you can attest to that.
Oh, absolutely. Doing double duty between GQ and the Bears takes its toll. So I apologise to my wife alive as well.
You've got a little one as well.
A little one, yeah.
Dad.
So and like for anyone that is listening out there, if you're looking to get involved in a club or in Gridiron Queensland in sort of any capacity, whether it's coaching or just coming and helping out on days like this, please get in touch with your local club or the Gridiron Queensland Facebook page. We can point you to the direction of the club.
There will be a spot for you. I'm seeing an applause coming from the far sideline, and it looks like Hunter Harris 1 is getting aided. He's got an unfortunate long walk here. And Chris, do you smell that?
I do.
Do you smell loyalty? as well
I
as
was meaning the hot dog, but anyway.
as well as one of Brooklyn's finest hot dogs. John Hollywood Rowe, ready to colour call the men's Sunbowl with me next. He's getting himself ready and warmed up. And I look forward to getting to the booth. Believe it or not, I thought I was going to go with 2021 without a Kenzo Hollywood call. Not to be the case, much to my happiness. So Hunter Harris 1 is still only about 60% of the way to the sideline here. And Kate Bennett, let's give her a shout out here. Talk about people doing double duties. She's been doing secretary work for Gridiron Queensland, also helping this amalgamation of clubs to run as efficiently as it is, as well as grabbing me refreshments when I've needed them in the booth. So I've got nothing but gratitude to Kate Bennett. She'll be probably wanting to hand in the phone and clipboard next year for some more football cleats again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I reckon she probably would. She's been amazing this year. The league wouldn't have operated without her.
Back to Taj Borden and this Gold Coast offense, forced fumble! No, they're going to call the tuck rule. They're going to say that he managed to project that football forward enough there. Being a former defensive coordinator, I tend to lean towards that being a fumble. They called that a forward pass incomplete.
You get a different opinion on whatever sideline you talk to on that one, I reckon.
Of course, we can't not bring up the Tom Brady Williams situation in the conference championship of what was that, 2001, the start of the Brady era in the NFL. Back to local action though, and keeping his time card punched is Ngolka Waremu Davis Angeles. He has been a picture of consistency here in Sunbowl 2021.
Absolutely. You see the clock's still running. It'd be interested to probably should get one last playoff in the third quarter. And I dare say it will be delivered to number 22 again.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they wouldn't just. Oh, there's 14 seconds on the play clock here, so they need to get this play off. First down here. And pass. Yep, maybe end of quarter. We are trying to keep as close timing as we can to screen and official clocks. That is the end of 3. 16 points, 2 converted touchdowns. The difference here, the Gold Coast Stingrays, proverbially with one hand on the 2021 Junior Division Sunbowl Trophy. The Raptans needing a historic comeback here in the fourth quarter to steal this one away.
Yeah, you think that you've got one hand firmly on and the other one sort of ghosting around it, just itching to get there.
And if there were unconverted touchdowns, maybe there's a bit more, I guess, pick me up towards scoring that there, but there's something just mentally bigger about a 2 converted touchdown lead, knowing you have to not only score but convert both touchdowns.
I mean, even then you're still looking at 18 points, so 2 converted touchdowns. It's a hard ask, but you could run back a kick like just about happened before, and it changes the game completely. Or run back a 2-point conversion.
It'd be one of those situations here where it would take a Gold Coast implosion to really see this game away. But it is Junior Division football. Anything can happen. A snap goes over a head. A tackle gets missed. Somehow a running back squirts out of a gang tackle of 4 defenders. And here we are. You can see in the screen now the crowd filling up nicely here at East Rugby Union. Ahead more towards the back end of this Sunbowl and ahead of the men's here at 5:30 p.m. Scoreboard will be back shortly. First down and 10. Ngolka Waremu with Davis Angeles wrestling now with a pair of Raptan defenders.
Imagine he's going to be feeling it tomorrow when he gets out of bed, but I'm sure a victory will be that little bit sweeter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to check. We've had 2 players that listed in 54. I think that's Noah Jones. Bailey Windsor predominantly playing as a left tackle, making the tackle there, but that actually might be Bailey Windsor now also playing at defensive tackle. And we also had another player in 32, Pima Mode. That's twice now he's lurked around the ball defensively.
you look at something like that could actually swing the momentum back towards the Raptors side, but it wasn't to be.
Well, I have to say, pick 6 or a fumble 6 or a special teams touchdown is almost a necessity here.
Yeah.
Needed.
It's going to take something special.
Right now, though, 3rd down deep inside Gold Coast territory. A bobbled snap, tempting fate. Taj Borden now to an open receiver. Kitchen is open. Kitchen is down the field. No one within 5 yards. They turn this around, and ladies and gentlemen, we are at the start of the 4th, but there is a penalty marker on the field, possibly denying this long-range score. It is in the area of holding, and the initial signals suggest that.
Yeah, I think that'll still be going on Ryan Kitchen's highlight reel.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Number 58 offense. Take out there, from previous spot.
3rd down.
Roxton, Johnston, constant two-way defender on this team. Fatigue may be getting the better of him there. A small blemish, well, dare I say probably a big blemish.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a wonderful performance by him in the trenches.
Sure, Ryan Kitchen's cursing and swearing under his breath on the way back to the huddle.
Absolutely, and comes back home and says, "No, man, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good."
So just watching the crowd now, a lot of purple and red rolling into the into the ground and up for the men's game.
And David Wilton field. We are going to get.
Have they respotted the ball yet? No.
Well, I see Connor Brewster with a red hanky in his hand.
I don't think he.
I think he's wondering if you can challenge
I'm
this.
pretty sure you can't. I think you can only review 15-yard penalties. If it's my understanding.
Yeah, and the holding is only 10. And I guess because it wasn't a score, because they called the holding penalty, it's not a scoring play either.
Yeah. I was just trying to dig up the official rules that were sent through to us.
We're clearly wrong because Connor Brewster has thrown that flag.
I guess, is it a score that makes it?
Could have resulted in a touchdown. The challenge flag has been thrown for the holding. This play is under review.
Well, reverse my logic there. I thought because it wasn't a scoring play, i.e. a touchdown hasn't been scored because of the cold penalty flag, they wouldn't be able to challenge it. But I guess in the act of scoring, which this was, the penalty is eligible.
Assuming it's on the right tackle on the outside, it definitely has some stretch of the jersey going on. We can look out here. Turnham has definitely got hands on the jersey.
Yeah, it's tit and tat. I think you can go either way with it.
I think if you're, the offensive lineman in me says, no, that was just a good block, sir.
Usually when I'm looking for holding, you're looking for some clear stretch of the jersey. Yeah. Coming back now to Andrew Stock.
It may just be that last hug on the jersey to pull the shoulder down so he couldn't turn the corner.
Looks like a pretty quick review here. Andrew Stock's already heading to the Gold Coast sideline.
Given he's pulling out the card, it may point to that they're losing a timeout, but we shall wait for the official word. And here it comes.
After the review, the play on the field stands. Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty. Stingrays to charge, a timeout.
So yeah, the Stingrays will lose a timeout here, leaving the 2 for the remainder of the 4th quarter, and we'll march back 10 yards, so it'll be a long 3rd down here.
Yeah. Ultimately, when you've got the lead, particularly a 2-score lead here, the extra timeout doesn't really kill you. It's worth it to try and add another 6 points on the board.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Stingrays come out here with play calling. Are they going to throw it deep again and try and get themselves out of trouble, or just sort of push it out and punt?
Lost timeout here, the only punishment here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And under pressure is Borden, but he escapes it, now tucks the ball to Lupe for Feeder there. And also Hunter Harris-Wern, who's back on the field, clobbers him around the 20-yard line. And now it's Jude Scott down again with cramp.
Out come the coaches with a hydrolyte, hopefully.
Honestly, I'm wondering at some point, you know those new massage guns which have become so popular, when are they just going to be a regular thing on the sideline?
I think most of the men's games you see a lot of them around, but
certainly see them in warm-up.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's two schools of thought there. It's more about the placebo effect than the actual effect. But
if it works, it works.
Yep. That's it. So we'll see here 4th and 4. We'll look to see what the Stingrays do here. They're deep in their own half, so maybe they will punt it away, given that they've got two-score lead. Or will they look to back themselves and run that, try and gain that last 4 yards? They've been pretty effective across the ground, especially maybe QB Taj Gordon on that QB keeper that's been pretty effective for those sort of mid-range distances. But I guess we shall find out momentarily. Raptors defense set up and ready.
4th down now, and Gordon is in there. They had no thoughts of punting here. Sun in his face, throwing downfield to Kitchen again. Too far out of range. Dave Hodkinson, the back judge, flicks out his yellow hanky.
Didn't look like there was much in that.
I was a little surprised, the ball being fairly overthrown. I think both players were competing for the ball. I don't know if it's that left arm perhaps that gets in a little bit early.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, you could argue that you're kind of just competing for the ball at the same time. It's a big call.
It is a big call.
I was going to say, I dare say the Raptors will be digging out the challenge.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 11, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down. Also, challenge. Raptors.
Jared Garrity showing no patience, getting the flag out before the penalty call was even made. And I've got the biggest fan of challenging penalties just floating around the booth here in John Hollywood Row. I can feel the...
There's definitely a wry smile on Jared Garrity's face as he walked away. There was very much just a dump of the flag and then walk.
It's an interesting, obviously, a lot of people might be confused by certain situations of what you can and can't challenge because of what the NFL rules are, but IFF runs under a different set of rules, and much to the chagrin of my soon-to-be men's color commentator and John Rowe, penalties that result in 15 yards or more can be challenged.
Yep.
And obviously a pass interference, that is the case. We've had many on-air debates about the validity of that.
It's going to be interesting to see which way this one goes.
Well, Zachlin Garrity is well and truly out of his kit, and his day is done. The unfortunate situation is that is the end of his junior football career.
It is sad, but at least at least he's not in a sling or anything like that. So hopefully it's not too serious.
And speaking about injured Raptans, Jude Scott also getting a bit of attention here. He's another senior, junior, if I will, playing his final junior game.
It's really cool to, I know, especially...
After further review, the player on the field stands. Pass interference. Defense, number 11. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic. First down. Also, charge timeout.
So the penalty flag stands.
So here in the second half, both coaches trading unsuccessful challenges. Connor Brewster challenging a holding call that wiped off a long-range touchdown for Gold Coast, and now Jared Garrity returning the favour.
I think there's going to be a fair amount of discussion about that flag after the game. I've already the phone's already gone a couple of times. So from funnily enough, the Bears Juniors head coach.
How about that? Gotta love opinions.
Oh, exactly.
First down and goal following the pass interference call on Kai Pierre-Mamode. The 211s lined up against each other here near side to your screen, but it's Ngolka, Waremu, Davis Angeles meeting a wall of violence led by his opposing running back there, Kazoya Newick-Matthews.
That was great contact by that defense to keep him and push him back. And would that be maybe his first velocity yardage, or are they going to call his full momentum just
full yard gain?
Yeah, there you go.
And we have got a lineman down here for Gold Coast. That appears to be number 70 there in Deacon Group.
Waving the medics away.
He's like, don't take me out.
Just back onto some of the juniors players aging out this year. Across, I know it's certainly the Raptans and the Bears. There's a good 5 to 6 guys aging out, and really excited to see how some of these guys go next to events.
Yeah, and obviously touch wood. I hope the love of the game has been instilled enough of them to take the challenge of jumping up to senior football. It obviously is daunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no it's not lost to me at all how daunting that jump can be, especially when you've been the big fish in the junior pond for a good year or two. Ngolka, Waremu, Davis Angeles, and a penalty thrown in the area of holding, and this day is starting to get frustrating here in the fourth quarter for the Gold Coast Stingrays.
There's been a fair bit of laundry in the last, probably in the second half. The flags have certainly come out.
Well, is there no surprises that the flags started coming out at the same time the sun did?
Probably a fair assumption. Let's put the sun away and continue playing football.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Now, I will say here in the fourth quarter, the Gold Coast Stingrays running left to right on your screen for a receiver looking back at the ball probably favours the Gold Coast Stingrays right now with the sun coming from the right here.
Yeah. You're probably right there.
I would argue the Raptans running right to left, having to look back into the sun, that only makes the comeback endeavour all that more difficult.
Yeah, that's certainly going to play a part when they get the ball back.
Meanwhile, I'll be interested to see how the senior men's Sunbowl, if the sun is still out at 5:30, which I suspect it will be, how they will play the coin toss. Second down, 20 yards, 19 officially for us here. Play action pass on first down, caught away from his body beautifully there. Noah Langley with a key catch and a first down, a gaining grab.
In general, the Stingrays wide receivers have been fantastic today, getting open, making plays. Just, to an extent, while Taj has been throwing the ball well, the receivers have made him look even better.
Exactly right. It's been a wonderful marriage between quarterback and receivers right now. And Borden took a hit there. He's really braving out, and this is where I'm impressed with him there. I know people want to talk about some of his athletic ability. I see a quarterback understanding the reads, making throws, and taking hits when you need to. I see too many quarterbacks. Bad snap over the head of Taj Borden. Saves the play to an extent here. Spins out of one tackle, but can't beat the cavalry. And that will set them back here on second down. Maybe they need to keep running the ball here on first down.
Maybe. The thing that's impressed me in the game for him is his balance. Like, he's hard to put down, and it's like, being spun like that and still staying up.
Let me make some more comparisons to this young man, the quarterbacks we've seen in Gridiron Queensland. Tommy Corwin.
Yeah.
Not an athlete, but one of the most balanced players you'll see. The amount of times I saw that man take a shot, somehow stay in his feet, and whether either he got the ball away to save a loss of yardage or turn it into a first down. I don't have enough fingers or toes to count how many times I saw that. 19 yards, still apparently the amount needed here to convert. Second down. Ball on the Stingrays 41. Connor in to block. Going one-on-one to the outside. And if there has been one knock on Borden's passing game today, it's that he's probably overcooked a few passes. But I tell you what, I'd rather have a quarterback overcooking passes than leaving them underneath.
Oh, absolutely. It's just giving yourself up for interceptions. I think Tommy gives himself a bad rap, not calling himself an athlete. So, having played with him at the Thunder in 2018 is, while he's not that prototypical athlete, still, can get the job done pretty well. It's like if you're going to pick a QB.
Well, towards the back end of that premiership or the Sunbowl winning season there, you lost a few running backs at the Thunder. You had Sean Darty, who was definitely more of an outside guy. Yeah. And your main inside threat ended up being Tommy Corwin at quarterback. Speaking about inside threats, one of the best in the junior division, Ngolka Wiremu Davis Angeles, taking this all the way to the Spartan Raptor 40.
You're seeing him up close, probably the closest I've seen him so far in the game. He is actually quite a big body back. I was quite surprised. He does very reminisce of that James Taylor body style.
He is. He's thick with a couple of C's, isn't he? Fourth down though, as impressive as that third down run was, wasn't enough to convert, but using history as an educator, there is no doubt here that Borden's out here to try and convert. Spread formation, mid corner now. And the timeout here, Connor Brewster maybe not super satisfied with his play call choice. Let's keep an eye out to see if the punt unit ends up coming onto the field.
It's, while the Stingrays would obviously want to score on this drive, they've got to be pretty happy. They've chewed up a bunch of clock. I mean, at this point in the game, that's what they want to be doing.
And speaking to Connor Brewster last week during halftime of the playoffs there, he was talking about the joys of having a quarterback you have in the same system for so long. He said, basically, I can have Taj out there running my offense. And I can really focus on communicating things with a lot of other players at different times. You know, you get to that point with certain quarterbacks where if they're predicting what you're going to call next, you know you've done your job right in installing an offense. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that's, like looking at, I think the Raptans have done a great job with Cuba this year, and, they've struggled, and the Rhinos, first year QBs, trying to teach them football, let alone the physical side of football.
I'm going to say it, I've watched junior football all the way since the early noughties, and I'm going to say that he is one of the finest, if not the finest, 14-year-old quarterback I have ever seen in Gridiron Queensland.
Does not look out of place one bit.
Obviously raw and plenty of things to improve on. As he gets a bigger body, that will come, but as refined as I've ever seen here as a first-year starter. Pass over the middle, Langley away from his body, probably needed his quarterback to protect him there. And a big hit from Eden Neal. That's a brave receiver there, going over the middle, arms stretched. That's a receiver's nightmare. And it's interesting, you think about Tom Brady and the conversation he had. I think also maybe Aaron Rodgers talking about once upon a time before targeting was such a thing in the NFL there. That was how you proved your toughness to your team as a wide receiver there. And really it was a quarterback's job to protect him. If they're going to go over the middle, you want that ball nice and close to the inner of your catching radius towards your body so they have a chance to protect yourself.
Catch and hit the ground.
Hanging him out there, body extended, that's a safety's dream.
You can almost hear their eyes light up.
And the crowd definitely getting a bit loud here at East Rugby Union. First down carry here.
Yeah, the crowd noise definitely picking up. You feel more people filling in.
On top of that, the bar has been open since 2 p.m.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Sure, that has might be a contributing factor. Second down there. That's actually been a much more impressive first down run than I thought. Over 5 yards on that one.
And just looking to my right through to the bar, we can see another one of the GQMC reps, Kyle Reynolds, come down from up in North Queensland. Where I expect him to be, in the bar.
Still remonstrating that he couldn't get the reef ball at Ailey Beach.
Yep, that's it. Hey, I was down for that.
Second down and 4. A pitch here. Eden Neal on the back of a bit of trickery, but a nice tackle there from defensive leader Dan Bolton, as well as number 38, Michael Collins. And I'm just looking at the notes here that Connor Brewster, I'm very grateful for giving me such an extensive amount of notes here last night. The amount of players here in their third year is unbelievable. He really describes the program at this point as a changing of the guard, or a tipping point. Really, next year will be the changing of the guard, as so many of these players will be aging out.
It'll be interesting to see what their conversions like into the men's division, because that's traditionally across the league been a challenge of getting the 17, 18-year-old guys into the men's division.
But if there's a team that leads that and the graduation rate, it's certainly been the Gold Coast Stingrays. Third down and 5. Key conversion here. Over the middle, looking for Cinnamon. Pass incomplete. A few hands all over him, but I've got no dramas with that.
especially given the Stingrays men's team didn't have a huge squad this year either, so I'm sure they'll be counting on quite a few of those guys to step up and make a difference.
That wasn't Cinnamon, there was Eden Neal, I think, over the middle. He's still rocking and rolling in pain here down on the Stingrays 40.
Has he just come down badly, or...?
Got the shot from Caden Eastwood there, the aggressive safety coming downhill. And there you can see the sideline. Still a fair bit of hope here. No one's quote unquote hanging their head. 4th down and 5.
Yeah, you'd certainly think that, this is probably the next biggest play of the game for them. They've got to convert something here. Otherwise, it's back to Stingrays back with the ball, and they're just going to grind it out.
And there we are. And you can see us you can see where we're commentating here. Myself, Chris Bradshaw. Pole position. I'm not going to lie. The alternative was being on top of we call it scaffolding.
Yep.
Which for us folk who are the more rotund in nature would have been a challenge getting up and down throughout all the games today.
If I'm not going to lie, if I was up there not good with heights, I would have been out.
I feel like a lot of people would have said no to me for commentary duties.
So climbing to the top of the scaffold in semi-finals last week to pull it down wasn't a fun experience.
Yeah, I bet. But here we are in a wonderful position here, and I'm enjoying. Usually I'm separated from the crowd in the booth, an air conditioned booth. I'm not going to deny that I don't appreciate that, but it's always a wonderful experience being able to really call off the energy of being part of the live crowd here.
It's just a really good position to be in.
And as we wrap up that, Eden Neal still in what looks to be immense pain, being aided off the field here. A couple of battlers really putting their body on the line for their team at the chance of glory here, and it looks like his day might be done.
The Raptans have had quite a few extensive injuries in the second half, which probably isn't helping their cause.
4th down now. Can Huber get it down? Immense pressure, a huge sack, possibly a game-ending sack with less than 6 minutes remaining. Karma Kotsareas, who had the 2-point defensive conversion earlier in the second half.
That's just a simple numbers matchup, that one. Just too many people, too many guys coming, not enough blockers. It's one of those plays that can, certainly come off the other way as well. If you just have just enough time to get a ball off, it can lead to a big play because there's just no one back there to defend.
And we talked about all the different schools that these come from and how much Keebra, Palm Beach, Crombie, for example, plays a factor in the recruiting here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. That is a Keebra product on display there with Karma. And you can see the aggressiveness certainly on display there. Battled through most of the year with injury, so missed a lot of last year, actually most of last year through injury, so making up for lost time is quite serious. And looks like SESMB will take their last time out here.
It's really interesting seeing some of the sort of slightly more elite mentalities of some of these kids coming out of high-level rugby league and rugby union. There's just something a little bit more about them.
There is, and there are a lot of rugby union players here in the SESMB side. A lot of them have been around Jared Garrity for a while. They actually coached them in their rugby union programs there. I have it noted down here, but there's close to half a dozen players that have been with Jared Garrity. He's personally known a lot of these kids for a long time, has truly watched them grow up, whether it be through rugby, coaching them in rugby union or coaching them in the Cubs and youth programs there at the Raptors. So this is a team that's definitely dear to Coach Garrity's heart.
I mean, the Garritys are a big part of the Raptors setup in general. So
ever since they made that huge sort of rebirthing, moving to Deception Bay, it's definitely been a baby or a project looked after by the Garritys large in part.
But you look at it across the board this year, the clubs have come ahead leaps and bounds.
Yes, hasn't it just? And obviously I talked to a lot of different players around the league. Everyone says despite their record, they absolutely respect the hell out of the Raptors program and what they're doing. Here is Bannon finding some space finally.
Yeah,
getting the first down.
like certainly for our juniors playing against the Raptans, there's some tough games this season, and me playing in the men's games, they play hard football, but they play football in the right spirit, and so you go out and play against a team like that every week.
Joe Garrity said, and he gets so passionate when he talks about, it's just about getting these core guys together so that each year you have a little less to sort of build from your base there. You can start getting into more elite knowledge rather than starting from scratch every year. And he's so excited about some of these guys coming up. Understands he's losing quite a few, but excited about some of these second year guys moving to third year and whatnot, and excited what the future is for the Raptors, possibly the Spartans. I, for one, certainly hope to see these two teams get strong enough, particularly the Spartans, I guess, I aim that comment at, to be two clubs again, because I really think that area up north is beautifully situated for the Spartans to at least in the junior divisions develop a strong program, and they have been ever since they came in 2009. And the recruiting for the Raptors of this Raptans team has only continued to get better over the years. Pass here from Borden, checks off one option, looks back to his left, comes back to his third option. It's Kitchen, hits him in the face. Kitchen caught by surprise, couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the challenge in the age group. You've got 3 to 4 years, so it's about developing the next guys coming through all the time.
It's a challenge,
and it takes a solid coaching crew to be able to do that year in, year out. Being able to buy into the process and do it for the love of it.
Third down and long. The love of it, very much the currency in Gridiron Queensland. Snap here to Bannon. Bannon relieving the duties of Davis Angeles here late in the fourth quarter.
I'm sure he's probably on the sideline looking somewhere for an ice bath.
I would say with his day he's had. The rookie running back looking to get a lot of the mop-up duties.
Great experience in a big game.
He remains in the backfield. Fourth down here, double sticks, 15 yards. The task at hand, Borden looking deep, throwing the ball up off his back foot, and it's tipped away here on fourth down. Wisely tipped away. I will add that by the number 9 team there in Harris. That's Preston Harris this time, getting a hand to it and earning his team the ball back. A lot of players would go for the pick there, possibly costing their team yards.
Yeah, smart play, just you got to bat it down, turn the ball over. And let's see what the Raptors offense can bring out. As you said, challenge looking back into that sun on the deep ball, but I think at this point you're kind of looking at the best opportunity.
That it is. At the end of the day, it's still only a 2-score game. Score quickly here, convert, and it's game on here for the final 2.5 minutes.
It's interesting.
Dare I say it, the only man capable of pulling him out of this is the man with the ball in a hand now. Newick Matthews down the Stingrays sideline, gets it out past the 40 and out of bounds. Of course, there's probably 2 lads here capable of getting the job done, the other of which Kai Piedmont.
Yeah, looking at that, the Stingrays defensive front, there was everybody up on the line there, so he did well to get outside and get downfield, because that could have quite easily been blown up in the backfield. One would have thought, though, with basically one man back deep, it might have been worth pulling out and throwing the ball.
So I thought the Raptans were out of timeouts. Both teams left with one team timeout here. With just over 3 minutes remaining here by our clock on screen, which has been only a couple seconds out from the official clock.
Looking to see here, we're in line with the Stingrays defense.
What we got? It looks like it might be a false start.
Delay game. Offense. Number 4, 5-yard penalty. Remains.
It's taking a bit of time. Well, the quarterbacks don't have as much excuses as they've had in seasons past. We have got weighted play clocks either side, other end zone there, so for quarterbacks to see. 1st and 15.
can see the Stingrays linebackers very, very tight up against the line here.
Whether they're sending pressure or trying to stop the run, Pima mode in motion. Crack blocks! Big crack block! Newick Matthews trying to take an advantage of it, but wonderful crack replacement there by the cornerback in number 13, Jackson Lloyd, who has been wonderful on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, you'd kind of wonder if you'd think he could have tried to put the afterburners on and beat him to the outside rather than cutting back in. But
Jackson Lloyd does well there, though.
He does.
Keeps himself square.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
A lot of particularly inexperienced defenders there will turn the hips there, and that just opens you to be beaten to the outside. Does a wonderful job staying square there and making the tackle. Approaching the 2-minute warning here, the Raptans are going to want to get a playoff here. Under 10 seconds remaining, they'll be forced to on the play clock. Nice snap, Huber with time, but Eyes drops down to the rush, has to evade the rush, heading up the sideline now, gets out of bounds, but it's inside what we believe to be the 2-minute warning.
It's interesting. It doesn't look like there was anybody lined up on the far side for the Raptans. There's not a lot, no Stingrays defense out there.
For it there, and here's where you possibly see the difference. As we might get the 2-minute warning now, perhaps.
Yeah, but some very assured running by Huber there.
2-minute warning. So yeah, but comparing the two quarterbacks, you see the difference with a 3-year starter in Taj Borden. With pressure in his face, he's still looking off multiple options.
Yeah.
As expected for a 14-year-old first-year starting quarterback, with the pressure dialed up now, you start to see the eyes of Huber start to drift towards that first line there, and it eliminates some of the options downfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Newick Matthews on the toss play, no room to move on 3rd down, loses yardage.
That was more a dance for you.
Yeah, it's an interesting play call there. Tossed at a long 3rd and 15, but
I think they were hoping just to make it a slightly easier 4th down here, but instead they moved backwards. We've got 4th and 20 now here, ball all the way back on the Spartan Raptors 19. They need to get out to the Gold Coast 33.
It's be interesting to hear whether the Stingrays send the house and try and get that man off the edge to get the sack, or
let's see, Bolton and
here comes the house.
Karma, Kotsadeus lined up within the feet of the D-line, and I think they've caught a false start here.
I'd say so.
It's one of those cruel situations where it was the defense that quote-unquote jumped, but they didn't cross the line of scrimmage. Yeah. They've forced the offensive lineman to react, so that penalty does go on the offensive lineman.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains, 4th down.
And that's certainly the case. You've got 5 offensive linemen, and all of a sudden you're looking at 8, 9 guys that are coming. Yeah, you start to get a little bit twitchy.
Well, especially with the situation here where you know you need to hold up in coverage, you know that you need to give every half second you can to your quarterback. It can be a lot to process here, and it's very easy to lose concentration. 4th down, 23 by our count.
I have to say the credit to both the offensive lines today. They've actually done a really good job of keeping the QBs upright for the most part.
Dare I say it, this is the last roll of the dice here for the Raptans. And what of a roll they need. It's a 20-sided die and they need a 20. Huber rolling out to the right, getting him out of the pocket. Chooses to run here on 4th down. And it looked like that might have been by design. There weren't a whole lot of receivers going downfield. Barely enough here. They won't get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is a turnover and downs, and dare I say, all but the championship.
Oh, it just it looks a little like a face mask, but a sort of arm around the back of the head.
So with less than a minute to go here, notes on only one timeout here by the Raptans. I'm expecting Borden to go out and ice this game and add yet another title to the shelf for this Gold Coast Stingray Junior program.
You need a bigger trophy cabinet, I think. We'll see here come out in the victory formation. Some early handshakes going on. Ultimately, it's been an entertaining game. It's certainly started swinging its way back towards the Raptors, but the Stingrays have just been too good in the midway through the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. So,
ladies and gentlemen, that is the ball game. Your 2021 Junior Sunbowl champions is once again the Gold Coast Stingrays. Connor Brewster adds his first as head coach. His coaching career looking more impressive as the young man continues to keep at the coaching grind in this young Gold Coast Stingrays unit full of so many players hopefully making the jump in the year to come. Age out with a title here, and unfortunately cannot say the same for the seniors of this junior program here for the SES MB. Players like Declan Garrity, Jude Scott, they call time on their time in juniors and hopefully look to add a championship at the senior level.
I think both clubs have a bright future ahead of them. Both juniors, teams and programs are stronger and getting stronger. And you look at the Stingrays men's team, while not as strong as they have been, certainly are always a competitive squad. And the Raptors have pushed pretty much everyone that they've played this year. So,
well, there it is. The end of the Junior Sunbowl. Once again, victorious the Gold Coast Stingrays. Bear with us now. We're going to take a short audio break as I head down midfield. Stick with us though. We have the post-game presentation to come. Big thank you as I exit here to Chris Bradshaw for joining me. Stand by, post-game presentation to come. go. Ladies and gentlemen, yet another Junior Sunbowl closed in the books. And it is once again going back down the M1 to the Gold Coast Stingrays. Let you have your moment. We have got to hammer through this presentation, unfortunately. We're running a little behind schedule. First of all, before we get to today's game, I would like to quickly call up Gold Coast Stingrays head coach Connor Brewster just to accept the minor premiership on behalf of the Gold Coast Stingrays. And of course, for every winner, there is unfortunately a runner-up. Can I get the runner-up head coach here, and Jared Garrity, have a few words?
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, mate.
How are you?
Well, mate, Coach, it's never easy, but we had a long chat last night. You said you are so proud of these boys no matter what the result is here. Obviously, didn't come your way today, but you've got a great group of lads here, and you did something really special, getting the Moreton Bay contingent to the Sunbowl for the first time.
Yeah, definitely, mate. This is a great Gold Coast team we discussed last night. To my guys, you worked hard all season. Congratulations on where you became. Wicked feedback. And to Connor and the Stingrays, mad props, guys. Like we said, you're the team to beat this year, and going in next year, it's the same again, okay? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate your time. Jared Garrity, ladies and gentlemen. And toward the award-winning coach today, can I get Connor Brewster to come up and have a few words? Connor, you've made the step up to head coach. This junior program has really been your baby for some time. You said it's a changing the guard moment for a lot of these guys moving into next year, a lot of third-year players. It must be nice to cap that off with a title again.
It's just amazing, honestly. Like, so much work went into this year, and for some of these guys, you said 3 years in the making. I'm really just lost for words, honestly. I'm so proud of so many of these guys. Like, I'm only young myself, and I consider them as these guys like my own kids, you know. It's really, really special. It's a really special moment.
Well, mate, we've got to keep it going. Congratulations to you. I will get you to take the game-winning medallions here off. Oh, we've already got them. Well, in that case, we'll move on. Thank you, head coach. Head coach, Connor Brewster. We'll turn our attention back here to the Sunshine Coast Spartans. Can you get one of the players step up, have a few words? Jude Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Jude, mate, tough game. You had to battle through what looked like to be some epic cramp out there. It's been a long career for you, starting out the Spartans, and you see it out today. Obviously, would have loved to go away with a win, but still, you've met a wonderful bunch of Boucher boys that I'm sure you'll call friends for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long season with all of us. Obviously, we started this season slow, and we one of the younger teams, one of the more inexperienced teams, and we fought this entire time. Got to give props to the Stingrays. You know, they're disciplined, they're smart, they know how to play. But I'm proud of everyone on this team for the way we fought, the way we got through this season. Injuries, cramps, you know, it's a hot day. we were all going through it, both teams. But I'm proud of everyone on this team. I'm proud of our coaches. They drew up a good game plan, and we fought as hard as we could. Didn't make some plays, but like I said, proud of everyone on this team. I love you, bros.
Jude Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on a wonderful junior career. All right, 2 more things here. We have got an MVP to award. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Sunbowl MVP with 3 touchdowns and no tackles in the backfield. Number 22, running back, Ngoko Wiremu Davis Angeles. Ngoko, or NJ as you know, mate, huge game on the ground for you, huge year here. From what I understand, you've been battling ongoing injuries, still managed to find a way to be productive. Yeah. For a lot, you had to put the team in your back, particularly on those first down runs. How does it feel to cap it off for a win and now an MVP?
I don't know. No, I just want to thank the O-line and Coach Brewster and Taj for everything. Sorry, I'm not good at speeches.
Fair enough. Your 2021 Junior MVP, Ngolka Wiramu Davis Angeles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, only one more thing here for this post-game presentation. Could I invite the captains of the Sunbowl winning Gold Coast Stingrays up here to receive the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Junior Sunbowl champions, the Gold Coast Stingrays. That wraps up the formalities here on the field. Thank you so much for joining us for the Junior Sunbowl. Men's Sunbowl not far away. Stick with us. Got plenty more action here to wrap up Sunbowl Saturday 2021.